Yes, guys, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for the post-match plan show with your host today, the Irish Hotspur and Brains McLeod, bringing you an absolute duo.
Right.
We've already got a lot of people in the background celebrating today's result, but I just want to sing everybody a little song just to get the energy buzzing in. Just to get it going. And it's not the usual Harry Kane song. It's City get battered every time they play Spurs. Their title hopes get shattered when they play Spurs. When they play Spurs. Come on. What an absolute victory today, Brains. I mean, look, everyone was
David, I've got one for you as well. Last minute winners everywhere we go. Last minute winners everywhere we go. Fucking right.
Come on, Harry Kane as well. Brains, I mean, so let's touch on a few performances here. Let's start from the back and work our way up. Look, Hugo Lloris's mistake for their goal. Very, very disappointing, you know. But look, I'm not going to dwell on Hugo too much, to be honest with you, because he's been a stalwart in goals for us over the last few years. But
and he made that killer save though. He made that almost threw his arm into the crowd to get the ball. It was like he made up for that. He definitely made up for it.
No, he definitely did, lad. Definitely did. And look, we'll start with Emerson, lad. You know, over at right wing back, a lot of people weren't sure whether they wanted Emerson to come in ahead of Matt Doherty. But my God, does he look a different player when you have Romero in beside him there? He looks a lot better, doesn't he? He had another good game today.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, that side was a lot more contained with Kulu as well coming back. Like, for me, so Romero, wow. Like, he really showed how good a player he is. Also, having Dier to be able to I think Dier made like Romero a little bit stronger as well. Like Dier got rid of so many good things. He had genuinely phenomenal performance as well. But Kulu coming back and giving Royale a little bit of help, like it totally secured up that side. So I thought those players, like the way they kind of just shut down the side. I still think Emerson Royale gives people far too much space, too much time to cross. It kills me. I almost have a heart attack every time the ball goes out that side. But Kulu coming back, shielding players, getting there. At least they can see a white shirt coming in, and it kind of puts them off a bit. So yeah.
No, absolutely brilliant. And then look, you move into the centre backs. Dier coming back into the fold. And look, I had a stat before the game where we have not lost a game. The 8 games he started in the middle of that tree, we have not lost. Guess what, Brains? You can make it 9 now. Absolutely unbelievable. What is it that Eric Dyer is bringing to this team, though? That is creating that sort of, and that you're seeing our defense sort of transform.
Was it Sean said earlier on your show about the being able to bilingual, being able to speak Portuguese this side, being able to speak Spanish, being able to actually conversate fluently with them. Like what I really liked was early on, Lloris was kind of arguing with Dier, and Dier was like, no, he's like, are you out your mind? Like, and Dier was like kind of directing him. He's like, no, so it's like, and it kind of shows you Dier is a strong personality. Whatever we think about him in the past, I think we have to kind of put last season behind because he's obviously still adjusting to being the kind of centre back. But this season, the stats and everything are kind of showing the truth. Like he's strong and he has respect. Like the big thing when you're playing a team, your centre backs, they have to have respect. Sanchez doesn't have anyone's respect. The other side, Ben Davies doesn't really have everyone's respect. So when Romero is in between players like that, and he doesn't really able to get others' respect because he can't really speak fluent English, then you've got Dier coming in, being able to just control the whole ship. So for me, I thought he really showed himself as a powerful player. Like I've ragged on him a lot, and I think today, like him coming back in with that stat as well, I think it's powerful, man. I think respect where it's due, and Dier deserves a hell of a lot of respect today. Sorry, my glasses are still steaming up because I was crying for about 20 minutes after that.
I don't blame you, Brains. It's great to see how he came back in the goals. I don't blame you, my man. But look, Dier absolutely brilliant today. Session as well. Look, the kid was taken off after 28 minutes versus Wolves, Brains. And look, we were there. We understood it. We clapped him off. But it's not easy for a young lad to accept that, even though you can have a manager telling you that it's tactical and stuff like that. It's not easy to accept that. But then to get yourself in the right frame of mind for Man City and not switch off. I think he switched off once where Kyle Walker got him behind just inside the second half. But to stay switched on for them runs in behind every single time, for a guy that's a natural left winger, it's an unbelievable performance again against the top team in the league.
And he stole the ball a lot of times. And also the thing is, it's one thing, okay, you're playing against a team like that, and your players around you are going like, just, you know, like, don't overcommit, shield him, show him the line, don't overcommit, you know. But then it's like when he's a wing back, so when he gets on the front foot, he's got to like genuinely believe in himself and go. And a lot of the times he did that. A lot of the times we got out of situations and we had like he was doing this thing where he wasn't just going down the line, he was like going perfectly inside. Was it him or Davies? They put the ball to Kane, whose beautiful one-touch pass put
for the first goal. For the first goal. Do you know what? We'll get on to that now, Brains. So Hugo Lloris, man, right? It was a short goal kick to Romero. But if that was to Sanchez, right? Just hear me out on this. If that was to Sanchez, that would have been popped into Emerson, who was under pressure, or would have been popped on. But what Romero done is he switched the play over to Davies where the space was. Davies, you know, great pass into Harry Kane, but what a ball around the corner by Harry Kane. And what timing. What timing of the run by Son.
Because Harry as a forward understands someone making the run, you can't take a touch and then pass, because then you're offside. So he knows he's got to hit that. But the way back to go left foot to ping it like that with the spin, as soon as the ball hits the deck, it speeds up and it gives the forward even more chance of like getting it. And you know, I thought Sonny was going to hit it, and I wasn't saying anything but then he does the perfect thing. He just draws players in, puts it nicely to Kulu, and Kulu finishes it. Kulu, I thought, also deserves so much respect today. Oh my God, like beautiful link play, winning the ball in very important places. Just, I think it all kind of is about Harry Kane, how he comes deep and then gives the wings a chance to get in around him. How he puts some, the switching, the ball he switched the ball with his left foot right across the park to Emerson, and then Emerson forgets how to play football for a second every time he gets the ball. But Harry Kane, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a player like through the history of football that kind of has his physique and plays the way he does, like controls the game when you get it into his feet. He's got a beautiful turn, beautiful touch, and then he just opens up with like a pass, you know. But then not just that. Today he was so good at, after passing, getting into the hole. He got into the hole multiple times, and that's where he ended up getting his goals from. Like, just beautiful play from Harry Kane today. One of the best performances I've seen from him in a long time.
No, spot on. But Brains, for his first goal, that run he made into the box, right? Sonny cut in on his right foot. Straight away, he knew he was gone. That shows the telepathic nature between the two of them. And the ground he made up to get into that box. But the reason why he done it, because he knew Sonny will find me. He will make that pass. And that's why he made up that ground. And the telepathy between them, that's when you could really see it. It was unbelievable. And it was just, it was a thing of beauty. And then, you know, to have the goal disallowed and then react and go and get them the winner. Oh my God. And if anybody deserves it of late, it's been Harry Kane. But look, I do want to talk about Sonny as well. I thought he had a decent game today. He was involved in all the goals. In fact, all the front three were all involved in all the goals today. You look at Kane's first one. I think Kulu was the one that dug the ball out and played it to Kane, and then he played it out over to Sonny, and then we got the ball back and Sonny cut in. And then the last goal, or the first goal, Kulu, the ground he made up, he could have sat there and watched Sonny, but he didn't. He made up the ground to support him as well. And all three of them involved in all three goals today, Brains. That's surely a positive going forward.
Yeah.
And going forward, would you say maybe Kulu over Lucas now?
Well, I think there's always a way that you can get them in, but in certain teams you can get them in the game together. But like, it's so incredibly impressive that, you know, like before the game, talking about the game, I was thinking like, like let's just crowd the midfield and all these negative ideas and strategies. But then a part of me was like, you know what, like, nah, let's just go at them. Let's put three up. Let's just, you know what I mean? Let's not play the way that they are probably expecting that we'll play. Like, let's catch them on the break. We've had 6 shots on target, scored 4 of them. Yeah. Like, that is absolutely lethal. And then Harry Kane being through, Harry could have had 3 or 4 goals today. Like, you know, like incredible play. But it's so beautiful to see what I was trying to take to friends about Kulu is like when you see him today, like it's like someone who gets Harry Kane, who's
Yes.
on his wavelength. Like Lucas is fast and he's brilliant, but sometimes he's erratic and he doesn't quite think the way like a player like Kane does. You know, these are kind of like a world-class mind state of like, give me the ball there, go there. Like I'm going to do this little trick, go there. Like, and what you're saying about Son, that kind of like awareness, they know, and they're going to gamble for each other and make certain moves in the right places, but they have to have that confidence. So it's so good for me. The impressive thing is that a kid that young can come in. He's had a tough time at Juventus. He knows he's a great player, but he's not been able to get into the team because he's got like Dybala and Chiesa and all these world-class players to break through. But he still was getting in and doing well. Comes here, first start, gets a goal, and that, by the way, that finish was not easy because he had. It seems like he got an open goal. No, he's got a defender there. He's got to head it perfectly at the right time. He perfectly puts it through his legs. That's hard. He's run about 60 yards and he's got to finish it like that. That's hard shit to do. I'm so impressed by the kid for doing that. But not only that, he's kept going in the game mentally. Everyone said, oh, no, he doesn't have the gas tank. He doesn't have the speed. In the game, right to the very end, being the guy making the run, chasing the ball down the wing, putting a crossover. Like, I thought there's no way anyone can debate Harry Kane was the man of the match by a long way. But Kulu, if Harry Kane went off at like 60 minutes or something, I think Kulu was the other man of the match. Because think about it. This kid's young. He's coming in and he does that. Scores a goal, gets an assist, makes most of the link play work. Beautiful stuff. We couldn't have asked for more than that from a player. No. You know? So I think use him, and I think bring Lucas on at the right times. Like today, Son was burning the tank. You could see it. You know, he was burning the tank. Bring him on, gives us a little bit of energy. Perfect, you know?
Yeah. No, look, Kulu and Bentancur are not bad for Juve bench warmers, that's for sure. And not bad today, though. But Brains, last one before we start getting on some of these guests. And it's Højbjerg in beside Bentancur today. How do you think that partnership worked? For me, I thought it was a very good partnership. Look, at times I know they got caught on the ball a little.
Yeah.
It's going to happen against Man City. But the work rate in the two of them, one press, the other press with him, helping each other out. Yeah. And this is the combination that I've been talking about, that no midfielder seems to be able to get with Winks, because Winks will drop off. You know, and when one presses,
the liability,
the player look beside him, look very bad by dropping off. He's already anticipating the danger, but with Kulu and Højbjerg, one presses, the next one presses. Yeah. And it kind of keeps them from coming across the middle, which we've done very, very well today, Brains.
And the thing I love, so cool, like, you know, Bentancur got caught in the ball a couple of times. The thing is, he still has a composure. You don't want him to be like, rush, get the ball, we got. You know, you don't want him to panic. It's good sometimes when you see that he's got the composure to like try kind of like keep his mind strong in the game. You know what I mean? So some people can look at that, why is he getting caught in the ball? It's not really that. You're actually still seeing a player who's confident, who's composed. But the tackles that he won, sliding back heel hooking, you know, that technique of tackling is amazing. Højbjerg did that today. I thought Hobby was fantastic today. Genuinely, I thought he's had a little tough run, but today, like he was in it and he was pushing. Just when we needed someone to get the ball up, he was taking it down the line, beating a man, like going further, getting a free kick. You know, like I just love seeing like warrior mind states. You know, like who are just gonna like fight. Like that's all you want from Spurs, and that's what they did today. And the reason they did that is because they had kind of like four generals. They had Bentancur, Højbjerg, Dier, Romero. You need that. That is like really strong, like warriorship there. And if we can, we've not been able to have that all season. That's the thing. We've not been able. We get Dier, no Romero, no Dier. Now we've got Bentancur and we've got an inform. When him and Højbjerg inform, I think you're going to see some great things. Also, Bentancur is not just a defensive midfielder. He's chasing down, pressing the ball. You know, he's just all go, and I love that about him. I hope pressure doesn't go on him to kind of do this to constantly have to think fast and just clear. I want him to bring that confidence to other players and go, hey, you know, take your time, like understand, like, you know. But when people get pressed and they lose the ball, it's not just the player. You have to remember. Your teammates are the people who have to go, man up. You have to be talking. if he's losing the ball, you have to think, who was the person giving them one? There was a couple of times he got the ball, but it's like, Emerson, why are you giving him the ball when he's got two guys like in close proximity? Why are you giving him the ball there? The fact that he's still giving you an out, it's not always the player who gets caught. Sometimes it's not like when you watch Winks and he takes a bad touch and he's like, oh God, it's like, it's not like that. He was doing clever things and then he was getting closed. And it's like, yeah, but why was he giving the ball at that point? So yeah, but genuinely, like, other than Emerson, I thought everyone played really well, but I thought the core through the center of the team just so good today.
It was unbelievable. And look, even Højbjerg there, I think it was at 98 minutes, even though the referee added on 2 extra minutes for no reason. But 98 minutes, Højbjerg was battling down the right-hand side with Riyad Mahrez after him. It was absolutely unbelievable to see. And that's the warrior spirit, the warrior mentality, the fight and the aggressiveness and the aggression that we've been calling for, that every Spurs fan, every Spurs channel has been calling for. It's like, where is it? Well, today we got our answers. And then one last thing as well is Conte time, baby. It used to be known as Fergie time. But look, once Fergie retired, it had to go somewhere. And it's now at Tottenham Hotspur. It is Conte time. It's never over until the fat lady sings. That is the famous expression. And my God, it's the same. It's like that with Tottenham now. The late equaliser and the late winner against Leicester. Here again today. And my mind evades me because I'm so buzzing over the result. But there's probably been more this season under Conte. It's Conte time. The never say die attitude. I have to say, for all the shit we've been through the last 2 months and how toxic it has been, every single Spurs fan can stand up today and say, I am proud to support this club. I am proud to support this team because every player stood up and deserved it today. So a massive round of applause to the players out there.
Absolutely.
But look, we will start getting on the guests because we do have a good backlog here in the back. So the first guest we have is Philip Brady. Then it's Ariane, Adam William Gale, Brad Matthews, Will Stewart, Jules. We've got loads there. So we'll start with Philip. We'll get him on. 1 second, Philip. How are you keeping, my man?
Great. How would you be after that? Like, I'm going back 6 days, David. We left London last Sunday pretty deflated after the result against Wolves and the performance against Wolves. And we're looking at the next few fixtures and says, my God, City next. So I think even the most ardent Spurs fan had a bit of fear in them for today. But I've had this feeling all day that something good was going to come out of this game. Maybe a point. But that performance, that was a Conte masterclass. What he did with those players since last Sunday is nothing short of, it was like a new team. It was like a different side playing out there today. Brilliant.
Phil, when was the last time you saw a performance like that? Like, when do you remember us having like that wall? When was the last time we did that?
It's hard to think back. It certainly wasn't under Mourinho. I'd say probably maybe in the Poch era, maybe the second leg against Ajax. Maybe that was the last time I saw something like that. And even that, I think today even bettered that because we've beaten a team today that has been blowing sides away for fun since we beat them last October or whenever it was. And they were, I think City turned up today thinking, did the old Man United thing. It's only Tottenham, lads. I'll tell you, they're not doing it again because we're probably going to be the only team this season to do the double over them. I don't think anyone else will do it.
No,
or anybody else can do it. So, I mean, it was just immense. And David, your hero, Harry Kane, I think he should be knighted after that performance.
I totally agree.
Harry Kane, baby. Look, he went away for a little while, a little vacation, but he's back bigger and better than ever. But Philip, was today one of the best performances you've seen from Harry Kane in a Spurs shirt? All round, hold-up play, passing ability, runs, finishing, bar that one that maybe he could have scored. A good save by Ederson. Yeah. But is that one of the, are we now seeing like the best version of Harry Kane? Because especially against top teams, because he was immense against Chelsea in some of the games, great against Liverpool in some of the games as well. So are we starting to see the best of Harry Kane now?
Well, I reckon Hugo should have given Harry the goalkeeper's jersey for that penalty. He would have saved it. That's how good he was today. He was immense. I mean, that was probably, I would say, if you take the great performances by the top players this season, that is up there, if not at the very top. Yeah. I mean, the guy was he was a colossus today. From tracking back, tackling back. I mean, that pass to Heung-min Son for the opening goal. I mean, he must have radar to see that coming. I mean, that was just You know, what I have to laugh at, you know, if
honest.
someone like Kevin De Bruyne or who else, I don't know, some of the Chelsea players have done that, Sky Sports would have a special on about it now. You know, it's,
yeah.
after Harry Kane, all Souness can say about it is that, oh, that's put himself back in the shop window again. For God's sake, because you don't even give him, you know, give the team a bit of credit for what they did today. You know,
the thing is, I know Kane's bipedal, but to do that with your left foot, it's not his striking foot. But to do that pass with your left foot, that's unbelievable, right? It puts top spin on it, so when it hits the floor, it fires forward even more and gives the striker even more chance. To know that about how to play that pass is just. I haven't seen many players who can do that.
There's not many. I mean, himself and Son have now equaled the record for Premier League assists. The level with Drogba and Lampard. So, like, I mean, that's going to go next game. Next time one of them scores, that's going to go. But, like, I think even last week, bad and all the Spurs weren't against Wolves. He did that a couple of times in the first half against Wolves. Similar type of passes, not as you know, long, maybe short, but you can see what the thinking is. The players know when Harry's got the ball to run forward and he's going to find them. But it was just absolutely superb. But then again, the whole team today, I thought Eric Dier, the much maligned Eric Dier, who we would have sold off for 20 quid back in August.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing for the side now. He is an absolute, like, if Eric Dier doesn't get back in the England squad soon, I'll be very, very disappointed.
Oh yeah, especially Maguire or Dier. Who do you know what I mean? Maguire or Dier?
Maguire is Dier. That'd be the best way of putting it. You know. I know it was just brilliant. You know, but I have to make issue with. I've been watching social media an awful lot today and during the game, even during the game. Some of the negativity that was coming out from the Spurs fans, or sorry, so-called Spurs fans, is just annoying, frustrating, and downright made me very, very angry. Yeah. And I've just been checking since the game finished. Not one of them has made a comment.
But you know, it'll be the same. It'll be the same ones who'll be talking about top four now. It's so up and down. It'll never be.
It just gets me. Like David knows where I'm coming from here. I mean, it's just you know, maddening. But anyway, I'm not going to let them take away from the. I'm so delighted for the guys in Thailand, Japan, Canada who got up at the crack of dawn to see that game today. Yeah, and the worldwide fans now should be walking around with a smile on their face, a shirt on their back, and heading off to the pub for a pint. Because we deserve it. We deserve it.
But look, just to touch on what you were saying about some of the stuff out on social media. Look, I can understand that when you're on a 3-game losing streak. But look, we're way too reactionary as a fan base at times. You got to look at the bigger picture. The amount of injuries we had to key players. When you have closer to you, if not your strongest 11 like we had out there today, look at the difference. Look how competent people are because they hold each other accountable. When you're playing with a Winks, when you're playing with a Sanchez and they're rocky, they're making all these mistakes. But not only are they making a mistake, they're then accumulating on top of it, one after another. It unnerves everybody. And then you see results like we've seen against Southampton, like we've seen against Wolves. You're going to see them results. But when you have your best players fit, look what we can do. It just goes to show that, look, the January transfer window, I don't think it was as bad as people were saying. You look at Bentancur and Kulu today, absolutely brilliant. They've definitely added to this team. Now, what we do have to do is we do have to go again in the summer to put on top of that because we don't really have players coming off the bench. Bringing on Doherty off the bench, it's not good enough. You know what I mean? You can't be doing them sort of substitutions anymore. Even he was a bit ropey when he came on.
Sanchez coming on. For me, I was like,
Sanchez made. By the way, how did the referee get the 99 minutes? That's what I would like to know because that was real Fergie time switched over to Manchester City.
Yeah.
It was a joke. It was an absolute joke. But Philip, any other standout performance for you, or even what do you think about all three of our front players all combining for the goals today?
Oh, I mean, the front three. I mean, Kulusevski. Again, the guy got a lot of criticism for his 2 short cameo appearances so far. I think he proved today,
which were good appearances.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I don't think
he was getting hammered for it. Yeah.
But what he did today now shows why Paratici bought him.
Yeah.
He shows what he can do. I mean, that first goal, it looked simple. It was not simple. He had to get that ball through the City player in front of him. That could have easily bounced off his knee and gone wide. So no,
after running,
second goal was class. You know,
he's come from 60 yards to put that ball in. It's not a simple finish either. Like that boy's got skill.
The whole spine of the team now. That Hugo Lloris got okay. Hugo was much fought for the first goal. We'll give him a pass on that. The spine of Romero and Dier in the centre backs, Højbjerg and Betancourt in the centre of midfield, and Harry Kane up front. That is a spine to die for.
Yeah,
it really is. And if we can keep those guys fit and get them firing on all. So that is going to have such a positive effect on everybody's mentality for the next few games. Because let's face it, with 3 tough games coming up now, all up north. Burnley on Wednesday, Leeds at the weekend, and then Middlesbrough in the Cup. But I don't think we have to fear any of those. And by the end of that Leeds match next week, we're 3 points behind West Ham with 3 games in hand.
Yeah.
United aren't firing anyway like they should be. So, it's an up and down season, but I think the only way is up now if we can keep the level of performance after today going.
Yeah.
We don't want to go to Burnley and lose because that would be typical Spurs. But let's hope that's not going to happen.
Interesting stat for you though, Philip. We've lost 8 times in the Premier League this season. Not one of them has been outside of London. 4 at home and then 4 in London as well. We haven't lost outside of London this year. So hopefully we can keep that run going. But Philip, Night Video says, I agree with you so much. Negativity. We need to have faith in our team. But look, I don't want to berate them because, they do have reasons and stuff like that. Look, it's been tough. But Philip, do you want to send out a message to them maybe, to galvanize and get them back on side with this team?
Well, all I'll say is this. We have got one of the top 5 managers in the world at our club. We have got probably the number 1 striker in the world at our club. And we've got potentially some absolutely ballpark players there in the likes of Romero, Højbjerg, Betancourt, and Eric Dier. If it has to be truth be told, Eric Dier is up there now. Rome was not built in a day. Conte always came with a plan. It wasn't going to happen overnight. If we can get top 4 this season, which is really back in the melting pot after today, the recruitment in the summer is crucial to bring us forward. Conte is a winner. And I reckon we do the right bit of business this summer. Get rid of I won't say dead wood, but players with a surplus to requirement. Just sell them on. Don't even loan them. Get rid of them. Spurs is going to be a very interesting place to be next season. And I think we just get behind the teams. We're not going to win every match. We're going to have dodgy performances in games before the end of the season. That's bound to happen. But if we get a few more performances like today, there's nothing to fear.
No, absolutely spot on.
Absolutely.
But look, Philip, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on and kicking this off. Absolutely love that inspirational message at the end. So thank you so much for your time. Come on.
No problem. It's a pleasure, lads. And come on, you Spurs.
Big up,
Thanks,
Philip.
Phil.
Absolute legend. Guys, there you have it. There's Philip, absolute legend. Great words from the wise man. Adrian Cherry says it's 4 a.m. for me in Singapore, and I'm still buzzing. Brains, it's mad. The fans that we have around the world and the times they get up at. And then bear in mind, it's probably 4 a.m. And then he's probably to get up for either work or something tomorrow, Yeah. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're owed something special like that to go through your whole day now. Sometimes here we could lose a 7:30 game and then we're kind of like, this day will be over soon. But in places like South Korea, Singapore, Dubai, around the world, it's different, people got to go their whole days thinking about how crap a performance was. So they deserve that. That one was for all the fans around the world, especially the ones in America, South Korea, all those places where it's like Singapore, where it's like super. The games are like, you gotta get up like 2 a.m. in the morning. You may as well just stay awake and then get like an hour of sleep before they go to work or something. So they deserve that.
No, they definitely do. And look, we're going to keep cracking on with some of the guests, but everybody make sure you are smashing that like button, that thumbs up. We've won. No reason not to do it. Absolutely obliterate it. Anybody that is tuning in is new to the channel. Make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. The big push for 1 million subscribers is on, and I'm not going to die. I'm not going to stop until we get there as well. And feel free, like Adrian and like Mr. Video there as well, feel free to get your super chats in, questions, talking points, whatever it may be. Me, Brains, and the guests that are coming on, we will sit down and give it a good discussion. So feel free, and it is a great way to help support the channel as well. But look, we are going to absolutely keep cracking on. So let's get on the next guest, and it is Ariane, the Ben Davies stan. My man, how you doing?
Doing good. You know, speaking of Ben Davies, I think he had a decent game today. Just on the Ben Davies forecast. You know, he had a couple good moments, I think. So, but that's Davies. You can't really talk about him for too long. He was okay.
No, he did. He had a really good clearance at one point, but then he also had this moment where the ball came at him like in the box, and he kind of like got his hands away and just kind of like
he didn't
make a mistake. But that was
that could have been an own goal, could have been a handball. I was very nervous when that happened. Yeah, because you never know. I mean, especially how volatile it is. If it bounced off, hits his hand or whatever. It's dangerous, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely worries me. That's for sure. Yeah. But look, Ariane, you know, what do you make of the performance today, man? Tell us about it.
I mean, that is classic Tottenham versus City. It's a game where, you know, at the face of it, it looks like we're getting battered, but we're not. They were playing it right into our hand, keeping a lot of space at the back, and constantly. It was actually very similar to the way Nuno played them. We were forcing them out wide, constantly force them to cross in, and Dier and Romero were dealing with it perfectly. Like even the goals that they did score, it was a so unfortunate handball from Romero. Like it's no one's fault. It just happens. Like that's just one of the moments in football where you get unlucky.
On that, do you think that like that shouldn't be given? Like for me, like I understand that's because of the rules. They're saying that's a pen, but the thing is, he's fallen. Like he's in the air.
Yeah.
His hand is coming down, and it's like it just kind of almost like just covers his face.
Right?
Like how can he stop? How can he stop?
He can't, and that's what I'm saying. It's so unfortunate. The only reason I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, how is he giving that? It's because I know for a fact if that's Laporte in their box, I'm screaming for handball. Right? Yeah. If that's like, there's no way I'm letting that go as a Spurs fan who needs to equalize. So that's why I'm like, it is what it is. It's just unfortunate. And then Hugo Lloris makes a mistake. For the plan did not fail defensively once. Even when they look dangerous, at no point, like bar maybe that Gundogan's like strike from outside the box that Lloris had to make a save, did they actually look like they were going to break through our defense? They kept crossing it in, but just didn't work.
You're really right, Ariane, about the playing into our hands. Like I was noticing that a lot of the time they had 6 or 7 players committed into our low block.
Yeah.
And that's why you play a low block, because you squashed it. When they keep committing players in, all they're doing is squashing the area. That means that we only have to get one player here, one player there, and like we actually have the advantage at that point. So when we would break, we only had to beat 3 or 4 players with like a couple nice passes, and then we were in. Yep. So it's like it's quite an astute point. Like I don't think, you know, the 90% possession doesn't say what happened in that game.
It doesn't.
We were 3-1 up at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was just by a sliver, man. That was so unfortunate. I thought Kulusevski was well onside because seeing how far Kane and Son were, I was like, oh, Kulusevski's well onside. He's fine. That was hurtful. Like,
did you see when they showed the still image when he was offside? And
I was like,
with his arms up calling for the ball for Kulu. It was absolutely hilarious. I love that. I love that. But Ariane, speaking of Kulu, I mean, the new signing, he's a young lad. He's had a bit of heat from the fans as well. You know, on social media and stuff, people kind of judging him off about 40, 50 minutes worth of football. But I mean, today he answered them, didn't he?
My thing with him was I was a little bit concerned with how slow he seemed in those cameos. Yes. But the way his crosses impressed me. And seeing Emerson be the person crossing for us primarily, and then in contrast to that, I have not seen the way he can pick out a cross is actually amazing. Because you know, we scored from 2 headers today, or 2 crosses today, and Kulusevski. I think even and the offside goal was Kulusevski's cross against Kane. So
Ariane, hold on, look at this for a second.
Yeah,
exactly what you said. That we scored off of 2 crosses. Aren't Man City supposed to have 2 of the best defenders on the planet at dealing with crosses and corners? Yeah, and we've scored 2 headers. Kane has bullied their centre backs today. Like.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
And also you got to remember that he was able to pick that pass right in between the 2 defenders right to Harry Kane. It was superb. And I think the offside goal that we're talking about here, I'm not quite sure if that actually was a cross. It did deflect very kindly.
Yeah.
But again, like, it was right to Kane. And however it gets there, Kulusevski's done a brilliant job to get it there. And his first touch on both the long passes helped him.
His touch is impressive.
His touch is very
really
impressive. He is so deceptively technical. Like, it's a little bit like Kane. Like, you look at him, you're like, this is not going to be a player who has like a great touch or but he's so, like, he's deceptively good at it. He can actually pick a great pass. And
he's actually got a lot of the same attributes as Kane.
And that's why you said earlier, they're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, he's got similar attributes to Kane and De Bruyne in the way that he plays passes. Like, he's very rarely, if you actually see him through all the games he plays, like, he very rarely gets a decision of when to play a pass wrong and the pass. He very rarely gets that wrong. In professional football, the hard thing is make the right decision at the right time and make the right pass. And if you can constantly do that, you're going to be a world-class player. He's actually got that. He's got that in his locker.
Right. But even the amount of loose ball he was picking up as well, even when we were defending, the amount of loose ball he was picking up, the guy has a very good football brain. He knows how to read the game. And it's probably beyond his years, I would say.
And one thing I think is going to be immense for us is, I think, with his crossing ability, we've had a problem with trying to break through like a low block, and that's because we have no way to get an aerial dominance. We can't get a good cross in from someone like Emerson. I think Kulusevski can be so good for us in that department. Yeah, if we need to just get one moment against a team that's low block, because Southampton's 1-1 draw is what I would point to. We couldn't get past that at all. We had no answer, and that was mainly because Emerson kept balling it to Reguilon. Reguilon was then doing whatever, like passing it back or whatever it was assessing. I don't remember, but we just couldn't get a decent ball into the box. And Kulusevski today has proven he can be the person that we need. He's been the missing link to just get one into the box and just break through. And it's just because, and again, like, he's been so good when he's switching the play, for example, as well. Like Sessegnon, whoever was it, I think it was Davis for the offside goal that passed it to Kulusevski.
Yes, it was.
And he was able to take that switch so well, keep the pace of the game. And it was unfortunate that it was offside, but again, he just kept that pace. And that's exactly what we've been missing in games that we keep, like, not having a way to break through these low block teams, because we can't switch it and then keep that pace of play going. And Kulusevski can play right into it. He can be such an important player for us down the line. It's amazing.
No, for 100%. Sure. And he's a guy as well that, he holds up the ball very well. He can look after himself as well, a bit like Harry Kane. I'm actually very excited to see this guy in future. Maybe when Harry Kane does get a bit older, can he slot in where Harry Kane is and kind of, bring what Harry Kane brings to the team. He's very, very slim. I really was impressed with him today. But look, let's talk about another new signing, Ariane. Bentancur. I mean, the amount of running that guy done today. At one stage, we were very, very deep. Our whole team was sitting on the edge of our box, and then he took the initiative to go out and start pressing the ball, which got us up a small bit higher. We've just been lacking that from midfield. And as well as someone can get on the ball, he's good, under pressure, pass it left, pass it right. How good was he today?
He has, even in his cameos, like screw this game alone, he's just been consistently good for us. Like this guy, and I remember when we signed him, some people were like excited, some people were just like berating him. Oh, he's overrated. This guy's come in. He fits the Premier League perfectly. This guy is the definition of a Premier League player, and again from another league for how he did. It's amazing. This guy's running. He's technical. He's disciplined. He's everything we've been missing in midfield next to somebody like Højbjerg, like Skip. He doesn't work in a system with someone like Winks, because Winks is not defensive enough to be able to cover for his. Not that he's not poor defensively. He's actually very good defensively for the kind of player he is, but he's not a defensive player by nature. So we need somebody like Skip, like Højbjerg next to him, and today proved that he could be so good with having an anchor man like that next to him. He's creative. The passes he can pick are great, and he can track back. He can provide support for someone like Emerson, and we need that. He was such a good link for our attack today. And in that goal that Kane almost scored from like 2 yards out, which I don't think that was a poor shot. That was a great save by Ederson. I would say, because he extended his leg out like that. That sequence was amazing, because Bentancur got the ball like 2 or 3 times, passed it with Son, Sessegnon, and he was moving around. He was on like the left wing at one point. It's because he's able to link play with other players so fantastically well. I love watching him play. I really do. He's one of my favorite players in the team right now. He's so good.
No, he definitely is. Definitely is.
I agree.
And what about his partner in the centre midfield? I mean, look, he's a player. Højbjerg's been a player that a lot of fans have been on his case recently. Maybe you could say rightly so, but look, at the end of the day, apart from Bentancur, he's our best midfielder at the club. how good was it to see him step in and that bit of steel, that ball winning that we didn't see from Winks against Wolves that he brought today? Has he maybe showed what he does bring to the team?
Oh, today he was on it, man. His engine was great, and again, he's the one that did the dirty work. Like the fact that he shut down De Bruyne on the counterattack to the goal that we missed, he shut that down, and he took that yellow card, and it was worth it. Like he's the one who could track back. And in the 98th minute, this is one thing that I don't think has been highlighted. In the 98th minute, he won a sprint against who was that? Mahrez. The engine he's got on him, man. He can win those, and he, obviously, I don't think it was super dangerous, but the fact that he was able to do that, and I think he won the throw in on top of that as well. It was great. So
I was screaming top of my voice at that point. I was like,
I was like, let's go. Yeah.
Do you know what, lads? As soon as I seen him walk out with the buzz cut, I call it the prison haircut. I knew. I just knew he was ready to kill. I knew it.
Yeah. He's that profile that Conte likes. That whole like go out there to kill and be the last one standing. That's the type of mentality, and that's the good thing. That's the like kind of what Phil was saying, and what I was saying about like having this like warrior spirit in the center, like Dier, Romero, and you got like Bentancur and Højbjerg. Like that starts to fill you as a fan with like a little bit of hope of like that's strong. When it's always like Højbjerg and Winks or Højbjerg and something, it's always like it's just not strong enough. But now with Højbjerg kind of having a little bit of bad run of form, it's amazing to see that there's another player like Bentancur who's got that spirit. He can now lift Højbjerg up. Højbjerg's not going to have bad games when someone like that's like up for it. Højbjerg's going to be like, all right, let's kill.
Yeah, they just bounce off each other, man. Like they're just running around everywhere, and they're killing. They're scary, man. I would not want to go up against them. The fact that they kept shutting and getting in the City players' faces, they kept crossing it in, and some of the crosses were high quality. But honestly, for City standards, the fact that they kept finding the head of Romero and Dier is probably a lot to do with how Bentancur and Romero and Højbjerg were just open their face the whole time, screaming at them. Like it's amazing the way they were just throwing them off their game, and that's what they're there for. And even on the attack, like he was making some good passes. He was linking up just as well as Bentancur today. He did not put a foot wrong today. He was brilliant. He was amazing.
He definitely was. But look, Arian, before I let you go, like I said with Philip, look, times have been tough as a Spurs fan of late. What would you say to any Spurs fan that maybe was a bit down in dumps before today's game?
Look, Conte, I think we could all agree Conte at Inter Milan was a huge success, and there was a threat that he was about to leave them after their first season because they were on a poor run of form too. Conte coming in the middle of the season is not his style, and with the January window that we had that weakened some of our depth, even though I think it was a good window, and we had to play Winks and Sanchez. We didn't have Dier, who's been obviously today proves how much of a glue he is. You're going to go on a bad run of form. Every team goes through these patches of form. Liverpool last season looked diabolical, all right, and for way more than 3 games. This happens to every team. So don't think Conte doesn't know this. He's a world-class manager. There's not going to be any threat of him leaving. There's not going to be any of this stuff after just 3 games on the bounce. We're going to be fine. And I think today proved that those 3 losses, any other team today, 3 losses on the bounce. You go against a team that looks unbeatable in the past however many games.
They won 14 out of their last 15.
Right. Like that just doesn't happen. Any team goes there, they're crushed. They're like, this is it. But we came out there 3 losses on the bounce, by the way. Don't forget, and we go out there with the mentality today, and we killed them, and we got 3. We should have been 4 or 5 with the way things happened. It was a brilliant performance, and so it just shows that this team is not affected by those things like us fans are, and we need to get behind them. We need to show the mentality that they're showing to us, and we need to get behind them. We need to support them. We need to back them, and we need to go on another crazy run like when Conte first came in. Go 8 games, 9 games unbeaten. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do a Man City for crying out loud. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.
Come on, you Spurs. Honestly, we should start at big up, Harry, and really appreciate your time. And we'll see you soon. Honestly, we're going to have to start getting out the hard helmets and the safety vests. You can't be getting that pumped up around here after that. It's illegal getting up that pumped up. Absolutely loving life. Louis Sherman, new channel member. Look, come on and have your say. The link is up in the community section for anyone that wants to come on and have their say. Come on and have it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm basking in this victory. It's great to smell like winning again. It really is. Big up, Louise. Absolutely love that. And we have Brandon Troller. Come on, you Spurs, you absolute legends. Also, how do we hop on a call-in? Can't find, get into the link. No, it is up there. Ben put it up there. He took himself away from the madness for 2 minutes and did do a trip to be able to put it up there. So, Brandon, it is there if you do want to come on and have your say, my man. But big yourself up, Brandon Troll. I really, really do appreciate the support. And I'd say you're absolute buzzing, so you are. I know you are, Brandon. Big up. What a man. But look, we'll keep this moving along. Just everybody keep remembering, City get battered everywhere they go. You know, title hopes get smashed when you play Spurs. And it's a rule. They're not allowed to beat us. Absolutely loving it. Can we play
David, I'm going to run, take a piss quick, but get the next one on. I'll come back in a sec.
No worries. I want to be playing them every week. That's what I want. Absolutely loving it. Adam, great to see you on, my man. How are you keeping? And what's
the story?
This game?
Oh man, I'm absolutely buzzing. I've been sitting here listening to the cheesiest celebration music of all time. It's like, don't stop believing. We're absolutely loving it, man. Seriously.
I want to hold on to that feeling.
Oh man, it's honestly, the excitement. It's just, I'm literally. Normally on a Saturday night, I'm not the kind of guy to go out on the piss, but I'm going out with one of my mates tonight, and I'm going to absolutely get drowned in alcohol because that was just something worth celebrating. And just like to see the way that Conte managed things, considering like again coming off three losses. Fair enough. The Chelsea game we weren't too enthusiastic about, but we should have come away with a win against Southampton and Wolves. But how and ever we got it. Where are we now? Where are we right now? Conte has turned things around to the extent that when you could see he changed tactics significantly today. By the way, he played a 5-4-1. Harry Kane was playing up front on his own. Son and Kulu were out on the wings today, right? And then the right back, left back, they were actually playing fullbacks today, which meant that we were playing much more defensively. But we've shown that we can do that, and we can still get forward with the talent that we have and put the ball away. 3 goals against Manchester City in their own stadium. If we can do that, it just proves that we can do it against absolutely anybody. And the thing is, we really need to understand that sometimes you go through bad patches. We were bound to have a bad patch with Conte. We were doing so well when we got started with him, right? We were doing so well. It is not fair to then go, okay, we had 2 bad games, therefore throw him under the bus. Absolutely not. Conte did the right thing today. He got the team playing exactly the way they needed to play, and we gave it to them. We stuck it to them again. Just like after the Leicester game, you see Harry Kane, massive bloody smile on his face, like you couldn't wipe it off no matter what you did. He was absolutely loving it, and that's the way. That's absolutely, we need to use that momentum going forward. We can't get carried away with ourselves, but we can use this as momentum going forward. If we can take it to City, of course we can take it to Burnley, we can take it to Brighton, we can take it to Leeds. So let's fucking do it, like absolutely 100%, man. Where are we in the table right now? Right, we're 7th in the table, but realistically the only team that we're fighting against is Arsenal, because Man United are shite and they're only a couple of points ahead of us. They're a couple of points ahead of us, right? But we've got so many games in hand. West Ham United, they're not good enough to end up in the top 4. They're just not. I don't believe it. They're going to exactly. They've dropped points today. We've got a number of games on them, and we're only a few points behind them. Arsenal are the only ones that we have to take it to, and we've still got to play them, and we've got to get vengeance against those lads for what they tried to pull on us for sacrificing that game. We got to take it to them and absolutely destroy them. I have no doubt in my mind.
Go on.
Top 4 is still all for Spurs. It's ours for the taking, lads.
So, Adam, do you think this is the beginning of a little run?
Absolutely. If you can't be inspired by smashing City in their own feckin' stadium, what else is going to inspire you? What else is going to do it like? We took it to supposedly the best team in the world.
Now, William, Adam, you're a guy that I do listen to, right? I listen to you on here, and I have to say, I love your positivity. You're like me. It must be something in the whiskey over here, but super positive. But the Americanca says justice for Adam William Cowell's constant positivity. So, people recognizing the positivity, and it pays off on days like that, my man. Absolutely love it.
This is where we get rewarded, man. Listen, the other thing as well is when we come away with victories like this, there is so much glory in it. When Man City win anything, it's like, well, you bought your wins, guys. I'm sorry,
you bought yourself them. There. Yeah,
Chelsea, you buy your wins. The only team that I actually esteem that are in the top 3 at the moment are Liverpool, because they do it through glory. Yeah. They do it through successes and using the money that's gained from their successes to go on and keep the team refreshed and filled with quality players. Liverpool, I've got all the respect in the world for. The other teams, they can absolutely bounce. I don't give a crap. We've got so much more glory than them. And to take it to City and to beat them with the players that we've got when we're not throwing money all over the place.
Yeah.
We've got so much more
teams
glory.
who just it's like teams who just buy trophies. You know, that's all they do. They're just buying a trophy. Why even play? Why even play the season? Just go into a store, go into like a trophy store. Just buy the trophies. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all you're doing. You're not really competing. I 100% agree with you. Like teams like Liverpool, teams like Southampton, all these other teams that are like real teams that are made up of like the culture around their cities. Even Man U, but back in the day when they used to go on like they would bring players through from their youth squads, and and then they had a culture that would become a winning mentality that was hard to beat. That's the thing that we want to eventually build. And do you think that's the thing that Conte can build long term as a new mentality? Like get the pain of the Champions League, get the pain of coming close second a couple times and just getting into Champions League, get that pain out of the way, and like actually have the mentality of like buy good utility players who don't break the bank and build something strong, like build a strong core with these guys.
Absolutely. I just read before I came on with you guys what Conte said to Sky Sports, right? He said one win is not enough. Don't forget we're coming off 3 losses. We can improve a lot. But for me, this group of players is one of the best that I've worked with in my career. We have a lot of work to do, but I'm not scared of work. If Conte is saying that, like I'm like I understand that the in out philosophy. I'll never go against that, but at the moment, I'm like, let's not worry about the board when the management is exactly what we need, doing the exact right things, saying the exact right things, inspiring the players, building the team around our best players, and bringing in players by degrees to get us back to where we were. Are we the same quality of team that got to the Champions League final a few years ago? No. But can we get back there within the next couple of years? Absolutely we can. And if Conte says he's going to stick around to do it, let's back the fucker. What an absolute legend.
Yeah, no, 100%.
100%.
And the thing is, look, I just want to touch on that as well. I don't want to hear any Levy in, Levy out. None of that today. Today is a day for all Spurs fans to put that aside, rejoice, and just revel in the win. Rejoice. Any arguments that's been going on and stuff, forget about it. Just absolutely revel in this win today. It's been a long season. It's going to continue to be a long season. So you got to take the joy in Tottenham where you can this season. But one thing I do want to touch on as well is it looks like Conte has a grip, has a handle. It looks like Conte has a handle on being able to play against these bigger teams. We took a result off Liverpool. We could have bet them. We were after beating Man City. Now we've got Chelsea, we've got United and that coming up. Or not Chelsea, sorry, West Ham, United, Arsenal coming up. We now have the blueprint going forward. We can go into them games positive.
Yeah. I'd be very positive going into Manchester United, to be honest. I'd be really positive going into that game. And the thing is that it seems as though Conte is able to rattle a lot of the big managers who know him quite well. He put Klopp off his game. He put Pep off his game. Do you know what I mean? He could do the same thing to fucking Ragnick.
Adam, did you see him bantering with Pep at the side? He was kind of bantering him, and Pep was just kind of looking at him like, this guy, like, what? Pep was like proper surprised by what he was saying, and he was walking away just kind of like smiling.
The swag, man.
He's battering here.
He's an absolute don. Seriously, he's unbelievable. And like it's not that he doesn't have the ability to back it up. Do you know what I mean? Like the people were giving out about what was said in a Sky Sports interview recently with regards to him saying that the team is weaker on paper. He literally said that he meant numerically. Do you think that if we didn't have Bentancur and Kulu today, and instead we had Lo Celso and Ndombele, do you think we would have pulled that off? Do you think we would have pulled that off today with those other two players? Would we? Not a chance. So the fact that we had
pulled it off if Sanchez and Winks were playing either.
Well, we're very, very fortunate that Dier was back for that game. We really are, because the thing about in that back three, it's the best back three that we have at the club at the moment. And the thing that we were missing, and I was saying this to you guys yesterday on Sean Butler's channel as well. Yeah. We need someone who is a leader in the middle of the pitch. Is Dier? In the middle of the defense, is Dier the best centre back that we have? No, clearly Romero isn't. He was an absolute baller today. But Dier is the leader. He's the one that's able to organize. Yeah. He was even giving it to Lloris at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like 6 minutes into the game.
This is the thing. This is what he's able to do. So, and it's the reason why we've had nothing but victories with him this season, which is absolutely tremendous. You know, so with him back in leading the back line, it was night and day, the difference. And then to see like Bentancur, honestly, the way that lad plays, the odd time you will see him lose the ball, okay, but at least he'll run back to defend and get it. But he's losing the ball because he's playing progressive football.
Yeah,
there's none
exactly
of this pass back, pass left and right shit. It's like, let's get the ball forward, lads. And the odd time you are going to end up losing the ball doing that, but more often than not, he's getting it to the players that need the skill of him. Like there are times where there were tackles that he was putting in. I was like, whoa, how the heck did you do that? It was like, it was Matrix shit. And then when he's passing the ball as well, he's got such precision. And it's the same with Kulu. Like Dave, what you were saying earlier, like the whole, we're getting the rejects from the Juventus team. Rejects? You must be bloody joking me, because those lads were absolutely essential today. They were incredible. The technique, the skill, the precision.
Rejects if you want to suit a certain narrative.
Exactly.
Behind it. I'll be honest with you.
I haven't paid attention to too much of the sports journalism until COVID happened, basically, and I had more time in my hands to actually start Googling stuff. But I can't believe how negative. Like it's amazing how we're completely. The media steers everything always so negatively when it comes to Spurs, way more negatively than we deserve, way more. It's ridiculous. When they talk about Man City, talk about Liverpool, talk about United, talk about Chelsea, any of the teams that they think are like the supreme teams in the league, it's like they've got nothing but good to say about them. As soon as it comes to Spurs, so much shit. It's like, that's
the story, isn't it? It's like Spurs and their manager problems. Oh, what's that? What did he say? Oh, there's Spurs and their manager. Oh,
they're stirring the pot. They're stirring the pot. They're trying to get us to slip up by generating this negativity. And I'm so glad that Conte is turning around and he's like, what are you talking about? Like he came out after his interview was misconstrued, and he's like, I don't understand exactly why people are trying to turn me against the board. I ain't got nothing. There's no problems with the board between me and the board. Ain't no problems between the board and me. It's all good in the hood, so you can get lost. And I just love that attitude about him. He's just like, no, focus on the football, focus on what needs to be done. And that's exactly what he did today. And the fact that, again, you see him in the dugout, you see how excited he gets. He was running straight into the guys who were with him in the dugout and just knocking them over. He didn't care. He was so excited. It's like, fly into them. Who cares?
He's got that soul of a player still. Like, he's a player. He's living and dying with every moment. Yes. You know, like when players come over for like a water bottle or whatever, he's like grabbing their shirt. He's like, you know what I mean? He's like, he's there. He's with you, you know, like, and that's what you love. There's nothing worse than like there's things about like players today, like Bentancur and Højbjerg, like the things I used to hate about Harry Winks is like when he unluckily lose the ball, his head, he's like drops his shoulder, and then someone's running with the ball. It's like, get back. Don't give up. You know, like it doesn't. I don't mind if someone loses the ball. Do not give up. That's the thing. Just keep playing. You can always win that ball back, and that's why I love to see. I saw a pass from Højbjerg today, which was in the style of Bentancur's kind of like slicey volley passes he does. Højbjerg did one. I'm like, and I'm thinking like, this is what it's happening. And that's what you want in teams. You want players like bantering with each other, going, "Oh, did you see my pat?" You know, like making each other better. That's football dynamics, and you can't have that when you've got players who are on a downturn or like they're worried about losing their spot all the time. Or everyone's so worried. You want a strong 11 that everyone's just so happy that they're all there. You know, and like Skip will come back. I'm not saying Skip comes straight in, but everyone should still have the same love for them that he's already. Everyone's like, oh, Skip is like the future. He should come back in. It doesn't matter if he comes back in straight away or not. Like he should be loved by that group. They should make the defense and the midfield. They have to like be super tight. They have to be going out getting laid together. They have to party together. They have to have movie nights together. You know what I mean? They can't just be sitting in a room playing video games. You know what I mean? It's like they need to like grow a culture in the club together, and that's what I think Conte could do. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. So there, Brains. You honestly mic drop. You should probably drop the mic and walk out of the room there, Brains. But Adam, what would do you want to send a message out there to Spurs fans before we let you go, my man?
Yeah, guys. Look, honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing. Sorry, forgive me that whoever the first caller was that came on, but he was saying that within the Spurs fandom, there's so many people posting stuff that is just incredibly negative, and then you don't hear a word from them. Then when we come away with a victory tonight, you don't hear them retracting things. You don't hear them coming out saying anything good. It's just negative from the beginning, and it's like, lads, please just understand. As much as we may throughout Spurs history, you may at times be seeing cycles of we're getting good, and things go south. We start to get good, things go south, and we never quite reach the top. We have the best manager that we've ever had now, and he seems to be happy with what he's doing. He's not pissed off with the board. He's not pissed off with the situation. He's saying he's happy with the way things are at Tottenham. He's saying these are some of the best players that he's worked with. He's absolutely reveling in the fact that he gets to be the mentor at the moment of Harry Kane, probably the best striker in the world right now. So we need to understand that this guy is the reason for my optimism. If people want to come on and say Adam's deluded, Adam's naive, whatever, it's all about, this is the Conte effect. This is what he does, and this is what he's going to do to the team. This is what he's doing to the players. He's not just doing it to me. He's never met me before in his life, and look at what he's doing to me. I'm excited as fuck. You know what I mean? It doesn't make
guys. If Ryan Mason was coaching this team right now, Adam would be out in the street fucking shooting up heroin and crack, and he'd be lost. He'd be lost in his life.
And look, Adam, absolutely brilliant, Colin. I love the positivity, and today you've been rewarded, my man. Keep supporting the club the way you do. It's infectious, and we'll see you again soon, brother.
100%. Great stuff, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love that. What a guy. I love a bit of Adam, I have to say. Brandon Cholo, welcome to new channel member. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. Hopefully we get to speak to you. Al Ben says, credit the non-Spursy mentality at 2-2. Exactly. Look, we've done it against Leicester. You cannot write us off now until the final whistle is blown. It's that simple. It was Fergie time, now it's Conte time, and then we're absolutely buzzing off it. And Matt Hayes, Tottenham plug. Big up, Matty. I hope you're keeping well, man. He says, I have a very important question for the Don Irish Hotspur. Can you please tell me who the best striker in world football is? Look, Matty, some people said his ankles were gone. Some people said his pace was gone. Some people said his love was gone. Some people said we should sell him. Other people were saying we should drop him for Bergwijn. But you cannot drop the best number 10, the best striker, the best finisher in world football. And that is the big man himself, the man who's friends with the Irish Hotspur. And that is Big H, a.k.a. Harry Kane, Matty. He is well and truly back. I'm so glad I stood by him. If he is watching this, reveling in the game, please send me over a strand of your hair as a souvenir. I would really love it. I know it sounds a bit creepy, but I love you, Big H. Thank you for that win today. Honestly, I'm so glad I got to rejoice in you getting that late-minute winner. I'm really glad. I was worried. I thought he was going to be sold. I really did. But to see him get that last-minute winner today against a team like City, the team who was trying to prize him away from Tottenham, we should all really be rejoicing in it. But Matty, he's one of our own, lad. I've always expected this from Big H. Always. I knew he'd come back scoring. Look, form is temporary, class is permanent. And this saying applies right here with Big H. Big up Matty Hayes. Absolutely.
Matty Hayes with the assist right there. That was an alley-oop right there.
Should be illegal, man. But look, we're going to keep getting these guests on. We might actually have to start getting through them a bit quicker because it's just filling up so much Spurs fans. They're loving it today. So let's get on the next man, Brad. Brad, look, you got to be buzzing after that, Braddy boy. Come on!
I
got it. I have gone from hungover, hungry, tired to we're going to lose in the last minute because and then to let's go down the pub, get beers, go on the banjo. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, what this club does to me is unbelievable. I don't think anything has ever done anything to me like this club does. So you're probably not going to get a lot of sense out of me tonight.
But just quickly, Brad, if you are going to the pub, do be careful because they're putting out a red warning, lad, because the hurricane is on his way, lad.
I was at the pub last night, so I've actually bought cans in today. So I had some in the fridge. I thought I might need some more. So So I'll be celebrating and probably regretting it tomorrow morning.
I'm just
But
going to be sitting there drinking, watching the highlights of that game on repeat. There's again,
Oh,
over and over.
yeah,
Crack another one.
yeah.
Watch it again, over and over.
well, I know because I'll enjoy it then.
Yeah.
It's torture when you're watching it. I mean, look, today
What were you like when we went 1-up? What like for me, I was like, I almost was like, oh my god, this is going to be even more nerve-wracking now because now I don't want us to lose the league.
Yeah. No, I was the same, and I think one of the WhatsApp groups. I said, "Oh, don't do this to me, Spurs," because when you go up one, that gives you hope. You think, "Oh, actually, we're 1-up. A lot of the game to go," and then you get to that stage where you think, "I'm waiting for the next mistake. There'll be a mistake, and they'll get back in the game." And then after half an hour, you think, "Oh, actually, we can probably hold them to half time. That'd be great." And then of course they get the equaliser, which was a mistake by Lloris, but I mean that absolutely brilliant save he made in the second half.
Yeah.
That was in. I'm watching that. I thought that's a goal, and
I was literally angry with Lloris until he made that save, and it was just like, wow. Okay, you made it back.
Exactly, and that's the thing about it, because I think when you're 1-up against Man City at the Etihad, and then it's a mistake, no matter whether it's Lloris or whoever it might be, that's on your mind all the time. Think, oh, if it hadn't been for that mistake, and then of course we went 2-1 up. And when we got the third goal, it was like, great, brilliant. And then, oh no, they're looking at offside. I'm like, it's gonna be like that again. And to be fair, to be fair, I mean, maybe in the old days it wouldn't be offside, but by the way, they do VAR now with the horrible lines. Get rid of the lines, but with the horrible lines, he was offside, so no problems there. So what happened was when they got the penalty. Again, it was a penalty, but it was still harsh because he wasn't deliberately doing that. And then they got that, and I honestly, I just literally started putting my shoes on and my coat because I thought as soon as that final whistle goes, I'm going to get some beer, sort of thing,
Yeah.
And then when they got the third goal, I thought Kulusevski was miles offside, so I didn't even celebrate. They went in and going, it's going to be disallowed anyway, sort of thing. Like, I gave it, and then it's like the injury time. 7 minutes, and it's like he suddenly found another 2 minutes from it.
Yeah.
And every time they attacked and we got the ball away, but that's it, we've done it. And then no, he's not looking at his whistle. You know, referees they look at their whistle, but he wasn't doing anything like that.
Yeah.
And then Højbjerg sprinting down the line. That was just amazing.
What a maniac! What an absolute maniac warrior! What a man!
And that's what you want from this club, and I'm guilty of being
desire right to the end.
Yeah,
we've been calling out for that all season. Just go all the way, like since the first game, like the desire in the first game against City, like losing that desire through the season has been the hard thing. But like watching that right till the end, I thought Højbjerg's passion almost summed up the team spirit, and that in him running right to the end.
I mean, you could even say it's a Conte masterstroke by dropping him for the Wolves game.
Because that's
the best game I've seen Højbjerg had for a long time. He was immense. I mean, both the central midfielders are. I mean, Bentancur gave the ball away a couple of times, but I think, as you were saying earlier, that it's because he wants to go forward. But he was immense, and I like Kulusevski. He struck me today as being really strong.
Yeah,
they were saying when they signed him, they said he's a strong player, and today he proved that. No, he's not the quickest, and there he goes on the right, has to come on his left, so he's not going to go bobbing down the wing and putting cross, but he can still cross the ball. Yeah, but no, he had a really good game today, very, very good game. I thought the fullbacks defensively did all right. Sessegnon lost the ball a few times, but I think he'll get better. I do like Sessegnon. Emerson, whatever you think of Emerson, he tries. He really tries. And when he makes a mistake, he comes back. And today, I think he had a good game defensively. His crossing's not the best in the world. But, no, he had a good game defensively. And I think I said on your show, David, the other night, I'd rather see Emerson there than Doherty, because I think Emerson's a better defensive player up against Man City. Yeah. But no, the whole team, Dier was like, well, I think someone made a comment on, no more moon boots anymore, sort of thing,
Yeah.
He was. You could see him organising the defence, Romero's a lot better when he doesn't have to do that.
It was. If Dier was there against Southampton, them images we've seen of the crosses coming in and our defence being all over the place, that wouldn't have happened if Dier was there. because he's shouting at people. I have this, you move, you get over there. Even 6 minutes into the game, 1-0 up, and he's giving out to Hugo Lloris. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what you want.
And I love that. I love that passion. I love that heart. And it's probably why every manager keeps picking him, Brad.
Yeah, that's what you want. And I mean, whatever you think of his ability, you cannot deny his passion for playing for Spurs. Dier has always had that in him.
Brad, how do we keep this team fit till the end of the season? I mean, that back three, that midfield, and that attack. That's a good team. How do we keep that?
This is the only problem we have at the moment, is that we have to, as you say, we have to keep this team fit, because I don't think the replacements, if Sanchez had played today, I don't think we'd have got the result.
God, could you imagine if we were still battling in the Conference League? Could you imagine how we'd be drained?
Well,
with 18 players.
Yeah, that's a blessing in disguise, and I think we've got games to catch up, like Burnley on Wednesday. But I think now the FA Cup's normally played on normal match days, so we should have a bit more time. And Conte's proved that when he actually does get a bit of time with the team, I mean, I think the problem with Tottenham against Southampton was they didn't, and Wolves, was they didn't follow his instructions. Today they followed them to the letter, and it was just a masterclass.
It was very disciplined, wasn't it? It was like like that line. There was a point where a really risky. I think did they get a goal from it, or they got really close to a goal? But like Dier played the offside so perfectly. You could see him before he was he was going like that. He was like, he held the line, and then boom, they and it was offside. It's like he genuinely. There was so much discipline there today. I was so impressed by that.
If they can adhere to what Conte wants them to do, I think we'll do fine. But the problem is we've got to do this against Burnley. We've got to show
and it's a different prospect. But then you think with these players all now together, like that's the first time for me I've seen like a Spurs, like a proper good first 11.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It was.
Strength everywhere. Fair enough. Reggie coming in, that maybe that'd be better. Fair enough, we could do with a better wing back, but strength everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
it was. Yeah,
and so
that
doesn't have to be a defensive formation.
No,
These players can play attacking football all game.
Yeah. And we did play some pretty decent passing in that as well when we went forward. I got annoyed when they go back, but I always do anyway. But the passes were very, very good. And on the break, I mean, we've always been good on the break anyway with the Kane Son partnership.
It's kind of Spurs DNA in it,
and I mean, I think they've equalled Lampard and Drogba's record or whatever it is, which they're also going to beat that this season. And that's amazing, really, when you think of it.
Yeah,
but I thought they it's one of those. They used to have in the papers, the ratings, and there was one where it said all played well. And I think that's what you could say today. I don't think anyone really had a poor game. You can say that Lloris should have stopped that shot for their first goal, but that save he made was amazing. It was incredible. I thought that's in, and he somehow got across and.
Let's just say there was a few 8s, but there was 1 10.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
There was 1 10. There's only 1 10.
No! I can't think who that might be.
Look, we didn't sell him. That's all I'm going to say. Look, we didn't sell him.
And you know what was great tonight? What was so brilliant was the away fans. Our fans there were brilliant tonight,
and they kept hear them the whole game.
He's one of our own. He's one of our.
No doubt, led by Ben and Sim, because Ben just does not stop chanting, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But look, Brad, we're going to have to keep motoring on.
Right, can I just read you something? Can I just read you something? Right, this is a poem by someone called Teg on Twitter. So big up Teg. Okay, this is in geography. This is about Harry Kane. Who's Harry Kane? In geography, my world. In history, my king. In mathematics, my solution. In mythology, my god. In astronomy, my universe. For the blind, it's light. For the hungry, it's bread. For the poor, wealth. For me, everything. And I know it's quite good. I mean, also wax lyrical.
You're going to be tearing up again.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
Oh, it's really good.
It is.
Yeah.
That should be a T-shirt with the Kane silhouette. You know, that should be a T-shirt with the Kane silhouette.
Sure. Right. But look, Brad, great words to end off, my man, and thank you very much for your time.
And one final word.
Pleasure meeting you there at the weekend. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you too, mate. You too, and I hope to meet you guys again someday. One final word: celebrate every victory as if it's Spurs' last.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah. Come on, you Spurs.
Big nice one, Brad.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Brad. Proper eyes on one today.
I love a bit of Brad. Just a couple of super chats. Real Nate 7 says Emerson did okay forward, but strong defensively. Yeah, look, I thought Emerson had a decent game. I thought he looked a lot better with Romero in beside him, because Romero does his job. He comes across and helps him out. At one stage, they're even high-fiving each other because they got to sandwich one of the City players. It was absolutely beautiful to see. And Stefan Bloy says, I think we just found our best 11. Big up, lads. No, 100%. I think we have to. Look, maybe Reguilon in for Sessegnon, but be fair, thought Sessegnon had a good game. But going forward, Reguilon does offer us a bit more than Sessegnon. But big up, Stefan Bloy. Really appreciate it. Now, I know Will won't mind this, but the next guest was supposed to be Will Stewart. But Grandpa is in here, and out of respect, we have to get Grandpa on, and then it is Will Stewart. I do apologize, Will, but we have to do it. This guy is the guy. He's the
Hey, Grandpa.
Hi.
Shirt twins.
You know, we had Storm Eunice. Today we had Storm Kane. Absolutely incredible.
The Hurricane.
Yeah, the Hurricane. I think that's a lovely phrase. He was outstanding. I mean, it's not just a striker. He passes the balls so brilliantly.
Yeah.
I mean, he is an all-round player. He's in defence, is constantly running. It was the best. It was one of the best games I've seen Spurs ever play.
Wow,
absolutely.
We even did a Leicester. We even scored in the last, with 2.5 minutes after they scored, which was just brilliant. I thought I really, really enjoyed the game. And I could almost hear Ben and Sim singing at the back there. They've gone berserk.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Ben and Sim right now? Can you imagine them?
Fantastic. And I thought that one of the key players there today was, apart from Kane, was Hobia. I think he really held it. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, I think he should be captain, because playing in the centre there, he'd be much better to control the rest of the players. I don't think Loris should be captain.
It's Dier or Højbjerg, I think.
Yeah, Højbjerg was great. And what for the first time we've seen Conte playing the game that he always is famous for, and that's defence. He's always had a good name for defence, and we haven't seen that before. And maybe that's because he wasn't playing Dier. He didn't have Romero. He didn't have Dier. He didn't have Romero, and both of them played brilliantly.
Yeah.
And Højbjerg sort of filled up the middle. I mean, they played 5 at the back all the time, really. And they all seem to have pace today. You know, we seem to be outrunning them all the time. And so it was just great. It was so exciting. And there's me sitting on my own, probably like you guys, shouting at the television screen, shouting at Ben and Sim. And, it was great. Absolutely great.
Do you know what? I have to say, it's great to see you in here with a smile on your face after such a big win. It really is infectious, and you're an absolute gentleman. It was great to see you and speak to you last week as well.
Yeah.
But look, we're owed this after last week, are we not?
Yeah, I've never been so miserable than I was last week. I came away, it was the worst game. And you read the press, and all the press is saying, well, Conte's going to go, and Conte's saying all such strange things. And then today it's absolutely changed around, totally. We want him forever, and we want Kane forever. And, there wasn't really a bad player. I mean, I don't think Davis touched the ball that much, and I don't think.
Tell you what, Davis made a couple of good clearances, get little blocks here, and they made one really good block, and then he got a couple of little touches, and did his thing. And I was going to say, do you think like if we don't play teams like the best, literally the best team in the world who buy trophies, if we're not playing them, do you think that Romero and Dier could hold down a back four, just like the two of them at the back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think we've got a stronger midfield with the two new guys. And if Holbery is playing as well, we've really got a strong centre there, and that allows us to go forward that much quicker. And also they can come back into defence, when we have that 5 in defence when we need to. And I think that's been a failure in the last few matches is our defence. And Holbery in the last match the match before, wasn't it? He played a terrible
Southampton.
Southampton. I can't understand why he changed so much.
Do you think he just needed a bit of a time out? Just
kick up the arse, probably. Yeah. Something like that. It's just very, very strange. And we could have won by more, which is amazing, really. The first goal they got, really, he should have held the ball. He should have held the ball. It was such a shame, but then he made up for it, as you said, by a brilliant save. But then you almost expect brilliant saves from him. It was the defense. I mean, Kane and the forwards obviously got the goals and they won, but it was the win of the defense really that made the difference.
They
could not get through.
90% possession they've had. Like that tells you, like
that's right.
What a soldier, what a warrior performance we've had today. We've had 6 shots on target and scored 4 of them. Like, isn't that not just like absolute elite level play? You know what I mean? Like what an attack, what a defense. It just sums it up. Do
you know what?
It's a lesson, really, isn't it? That you don't need to have the possession to win. If you've got a good defense and you've got a quick break after the defense, then and you've got pace, then you don't need to worry so much. About possession. What you got to worry about is making sure the ball doesn't get through.
And you know what? Do you know what I loved about that? We blocked up the middle. We were comfortable letting them take it out wide and making them cross the ball in. And then you're getting Romero, Dier, going meeting it and clearing it. So I thought that was absolutely crucial today with the way we blocked up that middle, that Warriors performance all the way across there, anything around there, pressing, getting out there, not letting them have that space that we were giving Southampton, that we were giving other teams through that midfield. And I think Grandpa is spot on when he's talking about the midfield, because over the last couple of games, the midfield hasn't given the back four. As bad as our 3 centre-backs have been over the last couple of games, our midfield wasn't giving them any protection. But that was there today. And it makes the job so much easier. It takes the pressure on them. It means once you take the pressure off them, they're not likely going to cave in and make a mistake.
I mean, if you've got Winks as you protecting your defense, you're going into a gunfight with a banana. That's what you got. That's what you got. Like, you know what I mean? So having Højbjerg back on form with someone to someone to impress. Like when you meet a new player in your team, you want to. You make a new friend. You want to impress them, and you want them to impress you, and it lifts both levels. That's kind of what I thought we saw today.
I bet you, when you see the statistics, that Holbery touched the ball more times than anybody else.
Yeah, I think he may have done.
He was running right across, and he was attacking a few times. He was going through the middle a few times as well. Amazing! It's just amazing, the change round, and let's just pray to whoever you pray to that we can carry on doing this and win the next 3 games.
Yeah,
and then we're going to be there.
What's your feelings about Burnley and Leeds? Those are the next 2, right?
Well, I think
do you think we'll get 6 out of that?
Burnley's going to be tough, mainly because we've only got 3 days between games, and I think that makes a big difference. So you'll have to make some changes. I don't know if Skip's going to be better. Is he? Is he badly injured?
He'll be back.
It's a bit hard to know.
Don't think he'll be back. No.
So
maybe Leeds game.
He'll probably have to pretty much play the same team. against Burnley, which I think is going to be difficult, but he could change a few people at half-time perhaps. But if he plays them to start with, it's pretty much the same team. And I think pretty much the same pattern, because I think that's a pattern that they like it. They, the way they defended and then were able to break away all the time, because when you do that, they come forward. So it gives a great opportunity. Then they keep coming forward because they can't get through you, and that gives a great opportunity. Like that very first goal was a plan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But they can play that plan again. They can play that type of plan again because they're so expert at it. So that's brilliant. That's great. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys again.
Just before I do let you go, I just want to say, look, some Spurs fans have been down in the dumps lately. They're getting frustrated with the team and stuff like that. Look, you've been through it all. You know what I mean? You've been through the years. What would you say to them?
I say to them, always be positive. The more negative you are, that negativity gets into the press, it gets into the players' heads and doesn't do any good at all. You have to be positive. Against Southampton, it was a bit difficult to be positive, but I try and be positive every single time. And I think that's what I would say to them. Never be negative, because it gets into the air, It's like COVID.
It's a virus.
You need a vaccination to stop it. No, I think that's the answer. Of all of us, particularly you guys that come on, that talk to the fans, always try and be positive all the time, and that gets into Conte's head, and that makes us win. That helps us win. And isn't football great though? You don't know what to expect, and that makes it much more fun.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. But Grandpa, I've always wanted to do this with you to end off. Give me a big loud "Come on, you Spurs!"
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Absolutely love it. Look, it's absolutely great. It was great to see you at the stadium. It was great speaking to you here again today. You're an absolute gentleman. So thank you very much for giving up your time. And I am sorry if you were waiting a bit. I didn't see you, but as soon as I did, I got you straight on.
That's right. I didn't come on till late because they didn't give me the link till late.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You might have to give them a little slap on the wrist for that, a little fine or something like that. But
I did a big chat during the two guys that were on there. That said, "Who's GPA Brian?"
It's great to see you with the smile on your face. It really is. It's so infectious. Come on, you Spurs, and Brian. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done, you two too. Okay.
Thank you. What an absolute gentleman. How can that man not make you smile? How can that man not make you happy? And speaking of smiles, let's get on this next guest. He's got to be smiling today. And I do apologize, but Will, you know the story. Out of respect, we have to get
it's all good. It's all good.
But Will, take it away. What do you think about today's game?
Oh, it's a great performance. Great performance from Harry Kane. Glad to see him back. Hope he grabs this confidence and continues to push forward, right? Because we're going to need him for the rest of the season if we're going to have a chance in this thing. The front three all together today were, a goal and an assist from Kulusevski, a pair of assists from Son, a pair of goals from Harry Kane. Could have been a hat trick for both, a hat trick and assist for Son, and a hat trick and goals for Kane. That one that bounced off Ederson's foot was just by a half-inch higher, and that would have been in the back of the net too.
Would that not have been one of the goals of the season if that went in? How Brook straight all the way through, like that is team football. Yeah, that would have been the way through.
That would have been a killer line of play there, and I thought I was going to too. I mean, I was already up out of my seat right there. I was like, oh God. Like it was. But no, I mean, it was a great performance today. The first half for me was good. It was a little bit squeaky sometimes. I thought I saw Emerson getting in a lot of space on the right and then just not really doing anything with it.
It was in acres down that space.
Yeah, it's like almost like there were, people are saying like he created space. No, I think they were just giving it to him.
Did you see the one where Kane like spun and like switched it out with his left foot, Kane's run after that was the most perfect run, and he was empty at the back post. He made the perfect run, and
Emerson
was overhead it
over the top.
and it's like, dude,
that was the first one.
On.
Yes, so I've kind of got this habit now where I kind of do. Like I haven't been a big Twitter guy for a long time, but I've been kind of into it the last couple of weeks, and I kind of do this thing now where I watch the match, I'll timestamp and then just like comment tweets out timestamped with in the match.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of my first tweets was that exact thing you're talking about, where Kane's basically sitting at the far post and Emerson just lofts it over the top. But I mean, hey, that's what Emerson does.
Do you think he looked better with Romero in beside him today, Will?
Well, I think too. Kulusevski really dropping deep and almost kind of playing like a double, because the way we were playing in that 5-4-1, it was almost like Kulusevski was kind of just like the wing back and he was a fullback. You know what I'm saying? So partnering up, double teaming down there in those back corners. I mean, Son really did that for Sessegnon too. I think both of those, their efforts defensively may have gone overlooked today by some, but Son and Kulusevski on the wings there, doubling up on Sterling and Mahrez and other folks that were down on the wings. Whoever City pushed into those corners, Cancelo. I thought
I would say Cancelo versus Emerson was like Mike Tyson in his prime.
That was boys. It was men against boys.
Versus Stephen Hawkins. That's why.
It was like, you remember that game, Mike Tyson's Punch Out from the 90s? That little guy, that was Emerson.
Yeah.
And Mahrez was, or Cancelo was Mike Tyson.
It was so good to see Kulu like actually come and help him out, because if he wasn't, I think we could have been in big
Do you know
trouble.
what? I actually thought the first 30 minutes, I didn't think Kulu was getting out there to help him enough. But that last 15 minutes, when you needed it most, get it into halftime, he really did step up and get out there and continue to do it for the rest of the game. He really did switch onto that very, very quickly, and I'm delighted to see that. It's good football intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, then too, just across the back line there. I mean, having Dier back. I mean, who'd have thought it, David? I mean, how many times, when Jose Mourinho was here, were we cursed?
Rightly so. Rightly so. At the time, he was abysmal. But Will, what is it Dier is bringing to this team that I hold my hands up, that I thought he didn't possess? What is he bringing to this team?
I think he's gotten older, right? I mean, he's 28 now. He's more mature. It's his second year now playing center back. You have to understand, last year was kind of his first year playing center back ever, right?
Yeah.
So, for someone who's only been playing 2 years at that position, he's really kind of grown into it. And I think
and actually, this is the first time as a central center back and a back three. This is the first season he's really done that full time. So
I think that you're going to see him maybe even to next season even being even better than he is now. And in fact, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get an England call up, to be honest with you. The way that he's been this season, I think he deserves it over Maguire for sure. But hey, it was a good performance from there. I mean, and this is like with Lloris. Yeah, we all know that Lloris has got one of those in him. But the difference between Lloris and other keepers is
he's had 3 in the last
in 2 matches.
2 games,
But the difference, even in that match against Wolves, I think it was, right, where he gave up, or was it Southampton, I think, right, where he punched him out in the
Wolves he gave away the 2 stuff.
Yeah, the 2. Yes. So, but the difference between him is, though, is even after he does make some mistakes, he's right back in it, and then he'll just make a blaze of a save in the next run of play. So even though he does have a blunder in him, that's the thing. Everybody makes mistakes, right? All great players make mistakes, but a champion, a great player, gets over those mistakes quickly, right? He doesn't dwell on them. It doesn't take down his form. So that's why we can give Lloris all the stick that we want. That's fine. I mean, but he probably should have covered it up. But I mean, it was kind of a fluke goal anyway, right? But and then the penalty too, I thought was kind of weak. But I mean, City was peppering us. Like, I think I tweeted out at 20 minutes. I said, now I can sit back and enjoy watching our goal get peppered for the next 70 minutes.
It did feel like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Really
Well, it did happen. I mean, it was nail biters, but no.
What elation to like get, through. Like, well, how were you feeling when we got the set? Like, we went 2-1 up. Like, was that not just mind blowing?
I mean, 2-1 up. I was feeling it because I actually called the game 3-2. I just called it the other way.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So I thought we were going to lose at 3-2. Like
I thought we were going to lose 4-0. I called it like 4-0.
Yeah. No, I knew we were going to score 2 goals. I call it some brace, but he had a brace of assists instead of goals. But yeah, I mean, it was. So I knew we were going to score because I know that when teams come at us, like Liverpool the match against Liverpool was exactly the same. When teams come up against us, we will get them on the counter if Son is hit. But I don't know if everybody. I tweeted this out too, and I was really worried. That run that Son had with Walker, he pulled up at the end, hopped, and kind of hopped, limped, and then didn't sprint again until that run in the second half. And and then he came off. I'm a little bit worried that he may have twinged something again. He may have re-injured himself a little bit. And we can't. If that happens, we're going to be in trouble. If we lose Son going up against the games that we have now, our fixture run in right now, especially with double game weeks going back to back to back, is it's going to be tough.
It won't be a tear because he wouldn't have been able to like step on it. So it won't be, but what it could be is it could be a bad pull, which could keep him out from 4 weeks. If it's a bad pull, because you're still going to have to take time off and you're still going to have to rehab it. But like a tear, a hamstring tear is.
I mean, it's just that's the thing with Son is like we don't. I'm hoping that they didn't like give him a shot at halftime and just put him back into the match and just say, hey, you got to pull through it because Son, we all know Son, he'll play with a broken arm. He doesn't care. He'll just keep running. Yeah. He'll run even if it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So, but we need it. We need him more than, than just like today was great. But it was like even at 2-1, I was like, man, okay, you've already even at halftime. I was like, bring more on or something. Yeah. But and Kulusevski and Bentancur, I know a lot of people during the transfer window thought that they weren't that great of a signing. I was not one of those people.
You really. I think I saw one of your shows. You actually really rated.
Benteke's
and Bentancur as well.
Yeah, Benteke's is my guy. Kulusevski, I think he needs. I said he was going to need about 5 or 6 games to really bed in, and I think we're seeing the fruits of that now. This is his 3rd match. I saw a lot more from him today than I did. I still don't necessarily think he's fast enough to play on that right wing. I still think that
although the lack of pace though, Will, he's still very effective there.
Yeah. I could see why Conte says with his crossing ability, I can see why Conte says he could play right wing back. But hey, I think that he's going to be a good player. I really would like to see him. If we ever played like a 4-2-3-1 or 3 in the middle or something like that, kind of see what he could do in that number 10 spot. I think he would be really, really effective there.
Yeah.
But in a 5-4-1, I thought it was pretty good. And this is just the thing with Spurs, right? We can come out, we can draw against Liverpool, we can beat City twice in a season, and then go lose 2-0 to Wolves and 3-2 to Southampton. That's the 3-0 to Crystal Palace.
I guarantee you were probably one of these people like us coming into the game where you're like, look, lost to Southampton and Wolves, but it would not surprise me to see us go and get something today. Yeah. I think we all had that feeling. It's absolutely crazy. But Will, is top 4 still on? Do we have enough with the starting 11 if everybody stays fit? And it's a big if.
If everybody stays fit, if everybody stays fit and we get Skip back, there's a chance. Yeah, for sure. There's a chance. I wouldn't say that it's gone. If we lose Dier, Kane, Son, Skip for a 3 to 4 week period with all the games that we have to make up, because we're basically running 2 games a week until the end of the season for the most part. Because we got another one midweek this week, right? And then
then
Saturday, and then a little bit of a break, and then 2 more after that, one in midweek. Plus, then you got the FA Cup match that's got to be thrown in there, and then so I mean, you're talking almost basically 2 weeks. It's almost like we're in Europe or something like that with 2 matches a week. But man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, we can do it. Will we do it? I don't know, man. It seems like anytime the pressure's on, anytime when we can get ahead, it's like.
But well, I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying. But but that's what we believe, right? As Spurs fans, we've been through that pain so much. At what point do you think? Is there any way of looking at that and going, but under Conte now, like a game like that, could that change a season? For like the kind of like momentum, for the spirit in the team, for having Conte there, for actually having a strong team go out every game. Like there's something like that, because that's not Leicester, is it? That's the best team in the world.
I mean, we beat him twice this season. I mean, that's the thing. And this is what bothers me about being a Tottenham Hotspur supporter, right? It's like I was always telling Stelios. He asked me, he's like, he asked me one time, he's like, why do you like being a Spurs fan? And I said, because it's a freaking roller coaster of emotions, right? It's like, one week you're top of the world, the next week you're in the dumps. Because I mean, it's like if I were a City fan, it would just be boring beating teams 6-0 every week. That wouldn't be any fun. I mean, could you imagine the watch line? Like, you wouldn't even celebrate the goals after a while. You'd just be there like, yeah, good job. You know what I mean? But like these, 3-2 nail biters in the 95th minute, right? I mean, like that to me was what, like Ajax, City in the Champions League. Like those are the types of matches that I enjoy, right? Like that gets me screaming, jumping, throwing stuff at the thing. And but I mean, it's Tottenham Hotspur, and that's what we gotta do.
Exactly.
I mean, if that's the brand, right? If that's like what people are buying into, that's football. That's way more than a team that can just buy trophies. That's way more than just going and supporting a franchise, right? Like,
yeah, I'd like one now and again, though.
Don't get me wrong.
Every once in a while, it would be nice to see one.
We've literally had 2 Ajax scenarios happen already this season. So that's kind of special from the kind of like that perspective. But yeah, it would be good to win something.
It's Conte time. But
I don't know if you guys knew or not, but I got a new co-host, and he'd like to come on and say something to you guys real fast. His name's Gilson. So Gilson, I'm gonna throw it over to you.
What's going on, lads? How you doing today? You know what, Man City, you dogs, I'm gonna kick you.
Sorry about that. Gilson's got a bit of a potty mouth. So
Gilson's got.
I won't ask what that wig is for when it's not on camera. Look, Will, absolutely great calling. I've really enjoyed it. But look, if people are blind and they can't see what the name of your channel is with all the branding going on here and the microphone, I like that. Where can people find you, my man?
You can find us at Will Stewart THFC Rants. We do streams here in the United States. Usually post-match, we'll be doing one tonight. Usually midweek at some time too. All that good stuff. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all the places. If you want to.
No, brilliant. And look, I think you're a moderator, so you can put your link into the chat, lad.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll put that in, and then that's where people can find Will. Will, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Go and crack open a beer. You got the rest of the evening ahead of you.
Yep, we'll do. Stay strong, stay Spurs. We'll see you next time.
Come on, you Spurs.
Let's go.
Big up. Absolutely great calling. Love it. Big up, Will Stewart. But look, we've got to keep moving, keep this going, because I know some people want to get off and watch the Amir Khan-Kalbrook fight. So we're going to keep going. Let's bring on Jules. We've got Jules in the building. Jules, my man, did we catch you unaware? How
you doing? Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. It's lovely to speak to you. For a long-time listener, first-time caller. Pleasure speaking to you finally, guys. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It was, I mean, just shocking, really. Sporting Spurs is basically, it's 1 minute, it's just flip-flop, isn't it? 1 minute, it's just despair. The next minute, you're flying. It's like, it's a lifelong torment, but we wouldn't give it up for anything. But I mean, I thought it was going to be 3-0 City, to be honest. There's about 3, I thought we were going to get whooped. And then we turn that. It's like, what is going on? Like, why are we 1 minute we're all right. 1 minute we're shocking, like just absolutely shocking. And then the next minute we play our skins out. And I mean, why? What is it? What is it in these players that leaves this inconsistency? Like, why? I mean, we know they're
you're supposed to be absolutely buzzing off this result. Forget about the inconsistencies today. Enjoy the result, my man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. I just can't understand it. I suppose like it must be the players, the new players that we brought in. They're settled now, so that's the big improvement over Winks. Ben's called Winks, obviously, and having a different option to Moura. I think he's obviously very inconsistent. Kulu today was great. I mean, it's really nice to see us have a proper winger now, as you say, to cross it finally.
You talk about how quick they've settled in there, Jules. Does that mean then we did do good business this January if they settled in that quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I was like everyone probably thinking bit iffy window, and as Conte even said, there's fewer players, and we've had troubles with injuries this season, so that's concerning. But yeah, I mean, I listened to the coach lad who comes on, and he said, if we can get a couple more players like this, potentially got a decent team. And it's that level of the players that when they start raising their game like they did today, and everyone around them, of course, is thinking the same thing. You know what I mean? So, but it's just, it's so nice to see. I just hope Harry Kane's not trying to put himself in the shop window. You know what I mean? Like he's suddenly playing out of skin again. Like,
Suddenly, wait a minute. Do you not think he's had like the last maybe, I don't know? Do you not think he's been playing well all season though?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but you just wonder. Today was something else, right?
Today was that the chances were provided to him compared to usual.
Yeah,
I think so. But he was playing the true Harry Kane. I felt like today this was his stepping back onto the scene. This is where he really hit the level that we've seen. You know what I mean?
It's such a high level, though, isn't it? Like it's so
impossible to keep
that
it
level all the time.
But he can bring it out when he needs. When he's really there. That's him. We're seeing him now.
Yeah.
But I just wonder why as well. Like, why are we City's bogey team? Like, what is it?
Do you know what it is? It's Sonny. Pep Guardiola goes to bed having nightmares of Sonny. Every time Spurs is coming up, it's all Sonny. Sonny puts them to the test every single time. I'll be honest, I was actually surprised that Big H scored today because he scored 2 in his last 11 against City. He's gone like 478 hours to be exact, or minutes to be exact, without scoring against Man City. And he pops up with 2. But what City cannot handle is someone with pace and someone that's direct, and that's Sonny. And he's at the base of it all. Today, we used Harry Kane as the decoy, and then used Sonny as the man to go in behind. Tactics absolutely spot on. That ball fraud. Hopefully now he's at home getting the misses as the buffer on his head. Absolutely loving smashing them today.
I think you're right. I think it's that pace. It's that style where we've got that guy who can run across. But yeah, what I'm worried about, I guess, I don't want to put any downer is we seem like when we need to take possession of a game, we're not at the moment. We're not able to do that. Like doesn't seem like we're able to really, against the lower teams, perhaps we're not able, for whatever reason, just grasp it, really control the game. Hopefully, with the new players like Bentancur in the middle and Højbjerg, if they can perform a partnership consistently, we're going to have that midfield, that strong midfield, to really grasp games and keep the possession where we have to. Where the smaller teams, who arguably smaller teams, or the teams that we expected to beat, we can grab those games by the scruff of the neck. Because against Leicester, although we dominated the game, it's that kind of like iffy. It's still a little bit iffy. Whereas today it was a defensive performance. I'm just hoping there's signs of improvement. But, I'm just hoping that we don't go back to the same old ways in the next game. It's going to be a tough one away, relegation strugglers.
Do you know what? I can get what you're saying. You look at the games, Wolves, Southampton, when the pressure's on us, we don't perform. But you cannot underestimate having a strong spine of the team. You cannot.
Yeah.
When you have that midfield, when you have that defense, that goalkeeper, and that striker, everything else around it will come together. You have to have that spine. Against some of these teams in the last couple of weeks, we haven't had it.
Yeah.
You've had Harry Winks in there. Just God love him, cannot deal with any physicality whatsoever. Davidson Sanchez, mistake waiting to happen. But we now have that spine back. And I don't think teams will rip us apart through the middle over the next couple of weeks, as long as we can keep everything together. And against the smaller teams, now that you have Bentancur there, now that you have Dier back in, and I never thought I'd say this about Dier, we can now pass out from the backwards. Sanchez, ballooning it long, playing it to players who are put under pressure. Dier, it's not happening. Romero, it's not happening. You can put it into Bentancur, he can handle it. Even with Højbjerg today, at times you can put it into him, he can handle it. You have two players that can handle the ball under pressure, which then means you can play it through. Like our goals today, none of them were really direct long balls. It was played out in the first goal, from the back, into switch your play, into Harry Kane, in behind to Sonny, you get your goal. We can now play out from the back, and hopefully we can now start dominating these games a bit more.
Yeah, if you imagine we just get another good centre back now that Dier's sorted himself out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now that he's not like a
Botman or someone at left back, like a proper strong, like tall left centre back. That would complete it. I think we should get two. I think because the problem is if someone. I mean, at one point, I don't know if you saw it, but like Romero went down with a back cramp, and we can't take him off. Like we can't. Like and that's not a knock on Rodon, because I think it's unfortunate, because I do like Rodon, and it's not right really. What's kind of his time at Spurs has not been nice, it's not been cool, and I do want him to move on because I think he's a good player and he should actually go and get full-time football somewhere. But we should be looking to bring in like a De Vrij and a Botman, like big name, big top class, and pay 30-40 million for each of them, just so that we don't have this situation again. So you can play with a strong back three the entire season and rotate them and go into Europe, and that's what we want. And the same with the midfield. We need another two strong players like Bentancur and Højbjerg now, and we need some cams. We need someone else like Kulu or Lucas, people who can do those utility jobs as well. And then we need another massive, maybe the majority of a budget.
So we still need another 11.
After that, then we need. It's going to take two more windows to get a proper. But we do need that. If you brought in Dybala, I'd be happy. Like you need another big striker, don't you? Like one more big striker who can rotate, so that we don't have to keep Son on when looks like he's kind of pulled his calf or his hamstring at 60. We're still right now. That's the big thing of why, like what you're saying, what the worry is for us as fans is that we have to now go into a game very soon. And there is going to be repercussions physically from this performance, because it was a dogfight. And now we don't really have, we're so like dying for the next game to be this team, play this lineup,
I think Burnley will be a tough game. I really do. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be Wednesday night. It's going to be cold. It's going to be grim. Like Kulu and Kulu, it's Burnley going to be fighting. I think they won today. They won convincingly. So they're going to be.
Don't let that destroy your buzz of tonight. You should have a great night. You should.
No, I mean, what a difference a day makes, man. Like I was, I think all of us. It's just struggling to believe. It's like it's so hard to keep up with Spurs. It's like
you know what, 1 minute. You just need a few more pre-match pump-ups under your belt. That's all you need, man.
Yes, lads.
Should I speak to this guy? That guy.
All right. Well, thank you, lads. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. Lovely to speak to you finally. I've been listening for a long time. So I appreciate the channel and everything that you're doing. So thank you very much.
No, look, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you on again. You've been a good guest.
Come on, Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Keep that smile from ear to ear. Come on.
Let's have it.
Big up, Julesy.
Thank
you.
What an absolute legend. What an absolute legend. Well, look, we've got 3 guests left. We'll start getting through them. We have Brandon Troller on next, then Vera Slight, and then we'll end with the Bun as well. So, look, we'll get on Brandon. Let's get him on. Brandon,
go! What a beautiful day! What a beautiful day to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan. I cannot believe that just happened. Oh my God! Okay, I've been saying this from the beginning. Antonio Conte is a god. Oh my God! Oh my God! Antonio Conte! Oh my God! What a beautiful, beautiful man! I will get down on my knees and I will pray every day. Oh my God! Conte.
Where do we start, Brandon? I mean, where do we start? Where do you want to start? Defense, midfield, striker, pick you.
Conte! That's where we start. That's where we end. That's everything. It's Conte. There's nothing else. We have a not so great a squad, but Conte's magic, it's there. That was a flawless.
And I love how Brandon has actually felt so bad for City today that he's decided to wear light blue as well. He's actually felt so bad.
Yeah, put him on my back. Like, call me Harry Kane, huh? Put the team on my back. Hey, Harry
There's
Kane.
only one Harry Kane, Brandon.
What?
There's only one Harry Kane. I can't be calling you Harry Kane, man. Can't be doing that.
I'm sorry.
I can call you. I could call you Conte, but not Harry Kane. There's only one big Kane.
There's only one Harry Kane. There's only one Heung-min Son. There's only one Christian Romero. Let me tell you, what a beautiful, beautiful man that guy is. Oh my! We genuinely have definitively, when he's fit, top 5 defender in the world on our belt.
Oh yeah.
He's that good. He's that guy. I mean, I think Dier, very, very decent return on his part. Still have my question marks on Davies. I do think we still need a third center back, but man, we're gonna be tough to crack. We're gonna be one, especially once we really have our players completely devoted to the Conte system.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a wall.
Yeah. What was like the biggest like takeaway today for you? Like, was it the defense, or was it the tire low block, or was it just the players who we wanted to see start? You know, what was the big takeaway?
I thought in that second half that we were playing with 4 center backs for a time. You know, Emerson dropped back in as a 4th center back, and you know, other people have been saying Kulu was sort of a hybrid between that right wing back, center mid, Cam. I mean, he was all over the pitch, really. Man, Kulu. My biggest takeaway was we already know the quality that Kane has, Son has, Romero has. Kulu came up and introduced himself to the Tottenham Hotspur fandom. Took a bow, and it was a beautiful, beautiful sight. Oh man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my Lucas on a day or two, but Kulu is looking like he's gonna fit into a glove.
Yeah.
He's fitting like a glove. Fitting like Conte's glove. I mean, it's really, really nice to see when you got a guy who comes right in the door and he's already fighting for the team. You know,
it's their appearance, but it's his first start. He scored and got assist. It's like metal.
I mean, it's like when Højbjerg came in. Like, you know, I have my doubts about Højbjerg. A lot of people do, and you know, they're warranted at times. But when Højbjerg first came in, you could tell from day one he was gonna fight like a dog. I think Kulu's like that too, and I'm happy. It's that Scandinavian blood, man. They're crazy up there.
It's the Viking spirit. That's what we need.
Spirit,
you know,
yeah.
brought this Viking spirit to the team.
Yeah, they're trying to get the Valhalla one day. Conte will let them in if they keep going. Like
what do you make of Hugo's mistake today? It's 3 mistakes in 2 games now.
I mean, the top keepers in the world are not the ones that are going to be making the headlines for incredible saves. You know, day in and day out. At least, you know, when they're placed into a top team.
Yeah,
you know, David De Gea is, you know, part of the reason that someone like a David De Gea will have long periods where people are talking about him as the best keeper in the world, like has been happening recently. Then he'll have about a year when it's terrible because he plays at a quite frankly very inconsistent team. He doesn't have a settled backline in front of him, so he's required to go and make all of these crazy saves. That's what Hugo's been as well, you know, and because maybe it's the stature of the club. People don't think of Tottenham in the same light they think of Man United. Maybe he doesn't get the same sort of headlines that De Gea might do when he underperforms or overperforms. Yeah.
But I think Lloris and De Gea are very comparable, at least over the past 5-6 years in that respect. We've been here before with Lloris, making these sort of errors. It's not as if he's been Mr. Consistent over the past few years. So, look, could we do with a better keeper? Maybe, but that's not
is it easy to get someone better than him for his quality, though?
I don't think so. At least not for another year or two. I mean, do we need to start planning for the future? Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you go for someone like a Dean Henderson? Try to get him out of Man United? But I mean, what's going to happen? Why would he take that? It's going to be the same situation he has right now,
Yeah.
I mean, who is really out there that we know is going to, I mean, is it Golini? No. No.
Yeah.
So I'd keep Lloris for another year. And I mean, would you?
Oh no, 100%. I'm just more so like on the short term, like them mistakes can't keep happening. The next game against Burnley, he can't afford to make them mistakes because that mistake could have cost us today. If we would have ended up not getting that winner and it finished 2-2, everyone would be talking about that mistake. Everyone would have been all over it. But the fact we got the win, it's kind of been covered up. What do you think it is? What do you think it is, Brains?
I think Brandon's like hit the nail right in the head there. Like, think about if you're centre back and you've got Harry Winks in front of you, he's going to make you look bad at some point because you're going to have to overcommit to go and close the space. And it's the same going backwards when you've got Sanchez and he doesn't know whether to pass the ball back to you, or you've got Davies, he's like showing for the ball, but he doesn't really want it. So you've got that type of inconsistency that's like bled into Hugo. But at the end of the day, no one's ever going to judge Hugo as like one. He's clearly one of the world's best shot stoppers. Like the save he did make was top corner. How he got his arm to that, like that was phenomenal. So he does do that. It's unfortunate that it's been 3 in 2 games. That's the horrifying thing. And in the Wolves game, there were literally game-defining moments that we couldn't come back from. This one's been this one is like, for me, that the reason that today's a changing of the guard and kind of like a turning of the corner is because of the spirit that. What did you think of that, Brandon? The spirit the whole way through the game, like it didn't drop. They didn't lose in 92 minutes to have a pen, an unfortunate, shitty pen scored against you, and they go up and score a goal. Like, what the fuck? We're not like that. That's the Spurs.
Harry Kane! The man never gives up. People can go out there and write a million headlines. I mean, you've been seeing them this week. This week, you've been seeing what? A headline a day, at least.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's going to leave. Harry Kane doesn't like it here. Harry Kane seeing that Conte wasn't back. He's gone in the summer. Is this his tryout for joining City? What? Harry Kane loves this team. He loves his badge, and he always fights. Yes, he had a brief falling out last summer because of a certain bald-headed gnome who happens to be head of the football operations of our club. But Harry Kane loves his badge. He loves our club.
Yeah.
And so long as you got a guy like that, head in from the right, he may have actually been injured. We don't know. Maybe there's something actually going on with his back. He didn't care. He fought on. He said, I'm going to take my sword and I'm charging straight into battle. And let me tell you, he always does. And you can't fault him for a lack of effort. And when you've got guys like that, then you've got a Højbjerg fighting like a pit bull. You've got a Kulusevski who doesn't even know how to speak English, maybe. Walking around, going nuts. Yeah. This is what we need. This is what we need. And this is the type of performance that, look, I went about a week, since the Wolves game, couldn't even think about Spurs. I was so disgusted. Couldn't bring myself to even come on to look at the channel. They would do anything. No.
Yeah. But look, Brandon, we may keep going because the guests just keep coming, my man. But look, It's great to get you in. It's great to see you. I keep that smile on your face.
I got one last tiny little thing for you.
Work away.
I got my grandma visiting, and she wanted to give a "Come on, you Spurs" to the Tottenham
Come
fans.
on, give it to us.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. I absolutely love that.
go.
Come on, you Spurs. Brandon, absolute bundle of energy. I absolutely love it. And we'll see you soon, my man.
That's classic. Nice one, Brandon.
See you, Brandon.
That's awesome.
See you, Brandon. You got to absolutely love that. We've got 2 guests left. We've got We're Sly, and then we've got Danny Kiriakou. So let's keep going. My man, Vera Sly, I think that's how you pronounce it. Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, it's not my real name, but you can call that because it's international.
What is the real name?
I'm the mystery one, you know.
But look, what's your thoughts on today's game, man? What's your thought on today's victory?
Yeah, you know, guys, this is 5 a.m. here, you know, in my country. I'm a bit, you know, I'm sorry, a bit nervous.
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Look, what do you think of Harry Kane's performance? What do you think of Højbjerg, Bentancur?
I mean, for Harry Kane, I think this is, I mean, all our attacks come from Harry Kane, you know.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time in a game that Harry Kane and Son play well as together. And you know, sometimes Harry Kane play a good game, sometimes Son play a good game. But this time, this is
the partnership.
I hope this could be a standard from Harry Kane and Son performance for next game.
Yeah,
between now and the end of the season, hopefully, my man. You know, that definitely 100%. Were you impressed with our two pieces of business from the January transfer window, Kulusevski and Bentancur?
Yeah, this is interesting one because you know, from after we sign Bentancur, especially, I'm a bit skeptical for him because you know, in many Juventus fans on Twitter don't rate this guy.
Yeah, they were so butthurt.
Yeah.
Someone tells me they were just so annoyed that he left or something. That like they were just, thank God he's gone. You know.
Yeah,
banter for sure.
But I think Bentancur could show us in every game has been in that he could be a great addition for our squad and our team. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been great every game he's played. He's been like great.
And Kulusevski, and for Kulusevski, you know, I had a bit high expectation on him because, you know, when Kulusevski come in, obviously this is Paratici signing. You know, he did it with Juventus, and he bring Kulusevski here right now. So. I had a big expectation on him, a high expectation on him.
Yeah.
And to be honest, 3 games I worried about his performance, but his left foot is just quality. He has quality with his left foot, and he has a end product. He's strong, and I hope he start more scoring and assisting for us in a few games.
What about how like he wasn't just playing up front, like, you know, to ask a young kid like that to come in and play to back up the wing back, to almost play as a wing back, to then be in the midfield fighting for balls and be up front and then to score, like that must have impressed you, like how well he did everywhere in the park.
Yeah, especially because I mean, this is Conte. I mean, this is Conte wants from our squad. You know, compact defense, attack as a team, defense as a team, and I know our right side. To be honest, City targeting it. Obviously, you know, Cancelo doing a great job there. Emerson and Kulusevski had a hard game. To be honest, in terms of defensive, but you know, still strong for 90 minutes running. Yeah, I hope it's a great game for him. It's a great game.
Yeah. Same. And look, even if we do switch back to a 3-4-3, would you still like to see Kulu still out on that right-hand side? Or do you think Lucas would probably come back in there?
I love to see Kulu more because, like I said before, I had a big expectation, a high expectation from Kulusevski.
Yeah.
I mean, we need from first window. I mean, every Tottenham fans wants a new right wing back, but somehow we need a new right wing back. But somehow Paratici signed this guy. I mean, I just hope this buy is not only because we can loan him first for and have a buy option, but we have. I hope this can bring more quality to our front line, and he can be our guy to give end passing to Kane or maybe Son.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on, my man. Absolutely spot on. Well, look, Viroslav, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for coming on this afternoon. No need to be nervous whatsoever, my man. Absolutely perfect. No need to be nervous.
I hope I can, trying to call in more and more and more because I appreciate this channel. So thanks, guys, for having me in.
No, thank you. And look, of course, you can keep calling in. And this is what the channel is all about. It's for fans worldwide so that everyone can come on and have their say. So make sure you do call in again. And look, the more you call in, the more easier it'll get for you as well. I get it. When I first came on, I was absolutely so nervous. I was shaking and everything else. But no need to be. Get yourself back on here again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Before we let you go, give me a big loud come on, you Spurs.
I'm scared that I'm waking up my mom or my family, but
that doesn't matter. It's fair. We beat City. Come on, wake her up.
Come on, you Spurs.
That'll do.
That's what, dude.
Big yourself up, my man. Absolute legend. Really appreciate your time. Big yourself up for it. Absolutely. Make sure you do call in again. Give them a bit of love in the comments, guys. It's not easy coming on and sharing your thoughts. But look, we are down to the last guest of the evening. Let's get him on. It's been a long one. It is the bun. Kyriakou. Actually, first, sorry, Danny, before I ask you how you are, AV Master, he says, I called it Kulu to score and Kane. He did. He did say this. He was the last caller on the pre-match build-up, and he did say Kulu and Kane to score. Big up, AV Master. I hope you put a tenner or sneaky 20 quid on that. You've been having a nice party this evening. And Brandon Troller says, my apologies, fellas. Kulu definitely speaks English. Big up, Brandon. He's one crazy cat, this guy. He really is. Big up, my man. But Danny, what's your thoughts on today's result?
I mean, today's performance, absolutely disgraceful. Daniel Levy's a bald-headed prick. I mean, he's a fucking idiot. I mean, he's cost us the whole game. No, look, no Daniel Levy slander today. Today, it's all about St. Mancunian's Day. That's what it's about today, mate. St. Mancunian's Day. They got absolutely hammered in their fucking backyard. They got spanked. They got taught a lesson. That's what it's about. And I tell you what, it was just an unbelievable game today. I mean, what I love the most today is that they dug in and they didn't give in. They didn't give in. Even when they went down, they kept going. They did. The fight was there. The desire was there. The aggression was there. In the first half, I know there was a bit of like moments where I know that Man City were obviously going to absolutely just like nearly just tear us a new arsehole basically. But we stood firm. We didn't concede. We got the one unlucky goal, which was again another Lloris mistake, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But today it was just an all round. That's what you want to see from Spurs. It was so euphoric to get that goal right at the end. I mean, it was just fucking unbelievable. It was
honestly,
just unbelievable.
It's what dreams are made of.
It really is.
I'll be honest, I actually nearly passed out, lad. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Mate, I was screaming. My mum,
my face goes so red, lad. It's not healthy.
Oh, dude! I at the end, I was literally on the ground crying, and I was just like, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, just like, it took me 20 minutes to just be like, what just happened. Not again.
Yeah.
But Danny, like we've been calling out for like a stronger midfield partnership. Benteke, and Hobby. How dope was that?
Good old
today?
Hobby. I mean, I've been calling for. I just didn't want to see Winks in a Spurs shirt again because I just can't stand him, especially in a two. He's just. I mean, he's more useless than the fucking grass they play on. Do you know what I mean? It's like this guy is just pathetic.
Do you know how angry I was when he started last week? I said,
mate,
all that money's come over, and this is and then not only that, I accepted that, but then they compiled it by putting Doherty out there. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
mate,
they knew you were coming.
They knew, they knew. They wanted to piss you off, Dave. That's what it was. But I'll tell you what, since I think a lot of us have been calling for Højbjerg and Benteke's, and it worked an absolute treat today because them two just didn't stop running. Højbjerg, I think that rest was much needed for him because today it was like an animal on fire today, and he was just the old Højbjerg of last season in top form where he just is continuously pressing. He's trying to fight for absolutely everything. I remember there were certain moments in the game where you're saying, go on, someone press him. And then one of the two, Højbjerg or Benteke's, would press them. And you'd see sometimes you'd see Bentancur just like completely just do a whole round around the whole pitch, like chasing the ball everywhere. And it's like, the guy just doesn't stop running. He was pressing as soon as it was going there to the left, to the right. He was just chasing the ball down wherever it went. Yeah. It was brilliant. And then when he was
I get the feeling that Bentancur could probably have played another game after that. He just looked like full of it.
Yeah.
But dude, we were talking about moments like for Højbjerg, right? It's fair enough that right at the end, he's pushing right to the end. But there was a moment where we had a chance and it broke down and they were on us. And Højbjerg ran back and just took the dude out. It was De Bruyne, and he just took him out. The thing is, that was a dead on goal chance there. Because like he had Bernardo Silva cutting in this way, he had Gundogan coming back up. Like that you imagine being in defense, looking at De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, the wings, like you know what I mean? And he just took them out and it's little things like that. He got the yellow card for it, but you know what?
That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part right near the end, where it's just like, because how many times have you seen players bearing down on our goals and players trying to catch after them? Sometimes you just got to take them out. You just got to absolutely assassinate them. I was loving it.
And I think like today, I think I think it was good to see him playing a better level today, Højbjerg, because he hasn't been at the levels we kind of expected from him of last season. Which look, I know there's a lot of debate. I've even said that Højbjerg needs a rest, and he's not the level of player we need if we're going to sustain a top 4 challenge for or trying to compete at that level. But to have him in the squad, and because obviously the options we have right now, he is the best option we have. So he has to play because he's better than Harry Winks, right? Yeah, he might not be like a Moussa Dembele or a Wanyama or someone like that who's going to be a level above him. Yeah. But right now, he is the best of what we have because Skip's injured and Harry Winks is a piece of shit. So, and it was, you just didn't want to see him have a bad game today and have like how it has been kind of as of late. And today was a step in the right direction to hopefully him having getting back on track to kind of giving us more consistent performances like how he has been doing last season. So,
but Danny, do you think having someone as good as Bentancur next to him is the kind of like, oh well, that it's like it's different from Winks, because Winks doesn't have the technical ability and the kind of mentality to see someone amazing play next to him and go, oh, I'm gonna. Winks just goes. Winks just dies inside, whereas the Viking does, like Højbjerg does. He's looking at going like, nah, I'm gonna play harder. And so I actually think like the two, that's actually what you need. That two together, they'll push each other on to be strong for each other.
I think so. I know. I think so because they've got the same mentality. They're both of them. They're warriors in terms of their mentality.
Yeah.
They want to fight for everything. They don't want to give in. And when you've got one person you're playing next to, I mean, we've all played football, right? When you're playing next to someone who you've got confidence in, you're going to push harder because you know that this guy is a good player and he's going to do the same for you. He's going to work for you, right? Yeah. So you know if he's going to press, you're going to cover him, and if you're going to press, he's going to cover you. And it's the reverse because it's working as a team. It's team cohesion. And that's what them two give you more team cohesion in the midfield, because Harry Winks, he just can't do the things that you as required for a Conte system, is required for a team in the top 6, even top 7. He's not at that level. He's not a person who's gonna be in a team in the top 4. It's just not. He can play maybe just about in a 3, but that's only if he's got top players around him, like in the midfield with him. But apart from that, he's just not good enough. And today it was just a breath of fresh air to see two players with the same kind of desire. And what I liked about Bentancur as well, because I know he lost the ball, and so did Højbjerg. They lost the ball quite a few amount of times. Bentancur more, but with Bentancur, he's always trying to progress the ball forward. You can see he's running, he's running with the ball, he's trying to progress it forward as quickly as he can. He's intelligent, he's smart with the ball, he knows where to pass the ball. He's quite positionally aware as well. I think he's more positionally aware than Højbjerg is, if I'm honest. But he's just got football intelligence. He's got a good football IQ, this guy, and he's got a great technical ability, and he works better under pressure. You've seen it when he's under pressure, he does work better. Now I know there was a few times today where he had the ball and he was maybe doing a bit too much, and maybe and that's where he was losing the ball. But he was trying to always recover it, and luckily we didn't get caught out for any of the mistakes, but from the midfielders. But we had a good all-round performance today, and for me, I think what was key today was having Dier back. I think Dier, I can't, most of us can't believe we're fucking saying this shit. But I mean, honestly, it fucking blows my mind.
If we're going to criticize them, you have to be big enough to praise them, you know?
No, you have to be. Like, Will said it perfectly, right? About Dier. Like his first season, last season as a centre back, right? And he was shocking. He had a good 13 games until we capitulated against Liverpool. Then the whole team capitulated, right? And then after that, this season, with Conte, he's been a rock. He's been that leader in the back. He's just shown the maturity. He's progressed his passing ability and his ball playing from the back. His long balls as well. He's got better at that. And you can just see so much more calmness in defense. And what I see the most is the confidence in defense. Like he brings the confidence to Romero even more. Romero looks like, today again, he just looks like a world-class player, right? Even what's his name? Carragher was saying after, he goes, that Romero man, he's a world-class player. He was basically saying when someone like Jamie Carragher, Champions League winner, is saying this guy is a world-class player, you know he's a world-class player, right?
He plays in the same position as
you know what?
Yeah.
I just want to say we shouldn't have to wait for Jamie Carragher to tell us.
No, we shouldn't.
I said this months ago. Romero is better than what Virgil van Dijk was at 23, and he will be world class by the time he's 25. And people laughed at me. No, you're just deluded. You're this, you're that. Come back and tell me now. I can spot a player. That's the difference. That's why I didn't want to sell Harry Kane. Romero is world class. Honestly, I don't get the recognition I deserve around this place. I really don't.
Mate, Chief Harris, mate. Chief Scout Harris. That's
Dave for man of the match. Who's your man of the match? David Harris.
It's always the Irish Hotspur. Everything should be Irish Hotspur.
Do you know? It's with what I think with Romero, right? I think once he has another top centre back next to him, because we all know you can get better than Dier and obviously Davis, right? I think they'll probably go for maybe 2 in the summer if we get top 4. We have to wait and see what happens. But if they bring in another left-sided centre back who's better, then and you bring in another central one who can compete with Dier, because I think Rodon's gone in the summer, then you're looking at a team that's going to have a lot better players and a much more solid defense, which will give Romero more confidence. And I think, look, we know Romero is the best out of the defenders, right? And he's probably his best position is probably in the central of the 3, right? But you have to utilize what you have right now. And right now, Dier is the best person for that central position to get us by to the end of the season if he stays fit and they stay fit. And I think, you can see
Romero actually plays as the right one. It's a back 4 though, but for Argentina, he's the right-sided one. But I get what you're saying though, because I think what do you think it is though? Yeah,
go on. No, go on.
I was going to say about like having Dier in, being able to speak Portuguese, being able to actually communicate, and I saw things today from Romero. It was like he just had the full freedom to go into the corner and like and wrestle with De Bruyne and get that kind of throw in or free kick late in the game. Like sometimes your right-sided centre back doesn't want to risk that because he's like, that's not my job. But it's like he's like, no, I'm gonna go and win this because I'm stronger than this guy. I can see he doesn't really have the full belief in Emerson, but I still also think just being able to I still think he controlled Emerson a little bit better because Dier was there.
Yeah,
definitely. No, definitely. I think I can't remember who it was on a stream last week. When we were having a debate about where I think it might have been on a Twitter space about where Emerson's best, not Emerson, Romero's best position is right now for Spurs, and they were saying, "Oh, Dier has to play right centre back," and I was like, "You're deluded, mate. The problem is." Eric Dier has to play in the center because he's the voice of the defense, right? He's the leader amongst them. Because Romero's he's a leader by example. He's not like how Toby was. Toby was a leader by example. He wasn't a leader by demeanor, by personality. Vertonghen was that leader for us, right? That's what Dier is right now for us. And Romero, and I completely agree, Brains, that Romero. He gives us so much more cover on that right side because he's strong, he's quick. You saw him today. He was in the corner flag. He was basically playing like a right back at times, right? And it does give Emerson so much more backup. And also, obviously, Kulusevski was doing that for him today. And I think Emerson had a decent game as well. He had a defensively, he was pretty good today, right? I have to give it to him. And I've always been one of these people who say stop giving Emerson slack. We know he's not the greatest player. We know he's not great going forward. But defensively,
but Danny, quick question on that point.
Yeah.
Are you saying Emerson had a good game on right wing back standards of the Prem, or he had a good game compared to his standards of how he plays?
He has a good game compared to his standards, not as a right wing back, because if you actually analyze it, right, and if you watch, I can't remember the amount of times he actually got past that halfway line today. Maybe a couple times, but he was mostly pushed back, and you saw Kulusevski coming back more and playing deeper, like the wing back, like Will said, like he was like the wing back today, and he was helping out, so he had a lot of cover. But what he was doing today, he did his job very well today, and he was good. He did his job properly today, and we know that you'd expect more from. We know you'd expect more from a right wing back, but look, we know what his fucking problem is. We just have to try and utilize him as best as we can right now, because we ain't gonna get another right wing back right now, and we've got fucking Doherty, which is even worse. And anyone who thinks Emerson is worse than Doherty, you are absolutely out of your mind. You need to go to Specsavers and get your eyes tested.
Look,
because
I'm Irish. I won't even say that, so there's no excuse for anybody else to be saying it. Let's be honest.
Exactly, Dave.
No whatsoever.
Exactly. I mean, Lloris as well. We know he's had a couple bad games, right? As of late, he's made like 3 or 4 mistakes in the last few games. But look. My dad came in as well today, and when we were watching, he goes, "Oh, Lloris, man, we should sell him, get rid of him." I'm like, you don't even watch fucking football enough to even judge the ability of this guy and what he does. He's not like a Tottenham fan like he used to be anymore. But and I said, what this guy's done in the last 2.5 years, he's made hardly any mistakes. He's obviously, every top keeper will make mistakes. Alisson makes mistakes. He's probably deemed as one of the best in the world, right? De Gea has made mistakes. He's had patches where he makes stupid mistakes. Everyone is human. They're not fucking robots, right? Every single player will have their patches, and they have their games when they're not playing at their level that you'd expect them to play at. And unfortunately, Lloris is going through a little bit of that kind of at the moment, but he is making up for it during the games as well. He's making some unbelievable world-class saves, like people have spoken before on the show today, and that he's that one save that he made, it was going in the top corner. That was an absolute world-class save, and that saved us. And he made a couple of brilliant saves as well.
There was another one sneaking into the bottom corner that he got down very well.
Actually, there was that one. That's the one I was thinking of in my head. There was that one as well, but there was a few more that he made some great saves for. And I think,
he was flawless. It was flawless though after the mistake, though, wasn't he?
After the mistake,
coming
he was
out,
he was
taking the ball and
and he was catching it as well, because that was the biggest thing for me. What I've seen his biggest problem is palming the ball out because he's nervous or doesn't know where it's going to go, or not being able to catch it. And after that, I was a bit nervous every time the ball came in. I was like, oh, please catch it. But he was good. And I mean, we have to give a special mention to the one and only Harry Kane because he's fucking back, baby. He's back. So, I mean,
did he ever leave, Danny? Did he ever leave to be back?
No, of course not. I mean, look, I look. You know me, David. You know my thoughts. I gave my honest opinion on Harry Kane, right? And I always said that no matter what, whether he wanted to go or not, he would always score 10 to 15 goals this season in the Premier League. And I always said that he loves this club, but he just wanted to get out because he didn't see any vision, right? Because why would you want to stay if Nuno fucking Espirito Santos is your manager and you've got no ambition for anything? Why would you want to fucking stay, right? He wants to be at this club and win trophies. And as soon as Conte comes in, he's like, right, I'm gonna give my everything now because this guy is a born fucking winner. He knows how to do shit. If this guy is back, we're gonna win some fucking trophies. And that's what he sees, and that's why you can see his passion. Today was exactly the Harry Kane that we all love. And people like, I'm gonna call him out, Alex Davis wanting to fucking sell Harry Kane. You are deluded, mate. I called him out. I said it again today.
He wasn't the only one. He was not.
I know he wasn't the only one.
There was a good 50-60% of the fan base and a good few channels.
I know.
Apart from your shots, because that never happened over there.
It's delusional to think you're going to sell your best player. I don't care what people say. Oh, rebuild the team. Harry Kane is a phenomenon. He's a phenomenon. He's a one of a kind. He's a generational.
But Danny, what about
can't
like
replace that shit?
Can you imagine like so he could have went to City, and can you imagine City at any point this season having the Leicester reaction, getting the goals last minute, like every game, your entire season hangs on every game. You're struggling. The great thing about wins when you struggle is the extreme jump in emotions. Like it must for when he scored that third, like the feeling he would have got then would not be like anywhere else he could have gone to.
No, 100%.
Like it just wouldn't be like that.
Look, brains, like I agree, spot on. And the thing is, right, with Kane, right, if he went to City and he won trophies and stuff, he would love it because obviously he's finally got the trophies. But it wouldn't feel the same.
You know what,
it wouldn't feel
Danny,
the same.
I think he would like it for a bit because he would get to. But I actually think he would hate it after about 4 or 5 games.
This is what I was gonna say. Like I think he would love it for the fact that like when he looks back on his career, he's won it. But he would also look back and probably not enjoy it as much because obviously he'll get the emotions once he's won the title and stuff, or once he's won trophies or whatever. But it just won't be the same because his passion and heart belongs to Tottenham Hotspur. That is where his heart is. And
do you know what it's like, Danny? It's like when you've been dating a girl for years and she just like gets you. She just totally gets you. You know each other, and you can joke about each other. You can go to the game together, and then you see the hot Ferrari girl, and you get with her. And it's amazing. The sex is blowing your mind for like 5 weeks, and then there's no fucking conversation. You got nothing to talk about. You want to blow your brains out every day. That's what it would be like. That's what it would be like.
I think it's like you can see it. Like you can see even with the Man City fans, you can see how they are. They're not as passionate as say fans like us. We're deprived anyway, right? We're
they can't even fill their stadium. They can't fill their stadium for big games.
No, they can't. They can't. But it is what it is. I mean, it's just an unbelievable Saint Mancunian's Day today. I mean, that's the day. That's the day we're calling it, Saint Mancunian's Day, because that's what it deserves. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But look, Danny, thank you very much. Time for you this evening, my man. I really do appreciate it. We are going to end it there because I did
brilliant. I'm going to watch it fucking right now. I'm going to go watch it right now. I'm going to watch
the boxing. But look, Danny, thank you very much, my man. I appreciate your time and see you soon.
Big up, boys. Take it easy, man.
Peace, Dad.
Big up, Danny. Absolute legend. And look, Brains, I want to say a massive thank you to you as well for coming on and helping me host this. You didn't really have to do it. You done it last minute at my request. So a massive thank you to you.
Can't turn you down, dude. Can't turn you down.
Anything you want to say to Spurs fans before we head off?
Look, I've been reactionary, like everyone. You know, like I was at the 3 games in a row: Brighton, Southampton, and then Wolves. And you were there, and I was so stoked that you were there. And Jory came, and it was such a big moment before the game. Everyone felt so high, and then we got our asses handed to us. And that low of that week, my own team lost, and we're on a losing streak for a bit, and I was so low that week. And I tell you how I feel now. How I feel now is like I could never felt this good if everything just went rosy. And this is what life is. What Spurs is a beautiful metaphor for what life is. It's like you only are able to appreciate the sweet when you go through the bitter. It's all about the bitter or the sweet. And that's what Spurs is. You got to take that sour. You got to take that sour for a bit. You got to believe that soon enough, the sweet's coming. And Harry Kane is that sweet. And he delivered on the money today. Come on, you.
That he definitely did. That he definitely do. Well, look, just to give you a nice sending off. Man City get battered when they play Spurs. Title hopes get shattered when they play Spurs. When City play Spurs. Look, I'm still buzzing, absolutely buzzing. But look, a massive thank you to everybody that has tuned in throughout the course of the day. The pre-match pump up, the watch along, and the post-match fan show. A massive thank you to everybody that came on the pre-match pump up and the post-match fan show. It really does help create these shows. It's nothing without you. So massive thank you to you. A massive thank you to everybody for tuning in and sticking with us as well all day long here on We Are Tottenham TV. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you also smash that like button on the stream and get in underneath and put your comments in and let us know your thoughts on today's result. As always, come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.